Welcome back, everyone, to Iron Fang Invasion and the final book of our adventure path here. It's been a few weeks off for us in the real world, so do the recap, go back a little bit, a couple sessions here. You guys had finally gotten to the vault of the Onyx Citadel and were brought rather promptly to the village of Stoneholm by the Petches, who lived in this area, and they talked to you for a bit. You were harassed by a shaitan with a golem, and that fight went not great, but none of you were like close to death or anything, just really incapacitated until you finally managed to drive him away. And then you were finishing up your conversation with the Petches and resting for the night, and moved on to the ancient archives of the vault builders that were in the kind of hidden away in the hill here. And you went through these chambers. It was mostly abandoned until you got to near the end of this archive and you fought its guardian, the Clockwork Angel. It wasn't a particularly difficult fight as it was weak to electricity, and the two sandmen supporting it weren't really able to do anything. I'm not sure if they even got a hit off or not, but you were able to get through that fight pretty okay. Moving on to the final chamber, where you came face to face with an ancient vault keeper by the name of Ziguch, the Seventh Facet. You had come in here to speak with Ziguch, hoping to get some information, and you quickly realized that a creature that had been released from its prison sometime recently and happened to be, I'll let you know, a little bit out of game, the residual essence of a long-dead primordial deity had usurped control over Ziguch and basically dominated him. And so a fight quickly ensued, and this one also didn't start out great. To the great misfortune of Jessup, he once again got turned to stone. This is, I think, the third time, something like that. It feels like it's a recurring theme with Jessup, unfortunately. And that left the three of you more or less unbuffed, which very, very evidently changed how that fight went at the beginning there, struggling to really hit anything. Technically speaking, your attacks, at least Gideon's attacks, were good aligned, so they would have stopped the regeneration of this immortal Ichor that had been taking control of Ziguch, but unfortunately it was also immune to pretty much all of the damage types that Gideon was doing, the bludgeoning and piercing, so it really didn't really matter in the end. Oran had transformed into an earth elemental, hoping to get some extra strength, not realizing that Ziguch actually has the ability to at-will control basically any earth-type creature. And so Oran got dominated just before he wanted to dismiss the effect, and was sent off to attack Kieran back and forth across the chamber for the next couple rounds, leaving just Kieran and Gideon to fight Ziguch, the Ichor, and Oran. And Ziguch hit Gideon just enough times for Gideon to technically turn enough to stone that he became a stone type, and Ziguch was going to begin dominating him as well, which would have basically turned everybody in the room against just Kieran, flying back and forth trying to do something. Luckily, Kieran, his persistence and a little bit of luck over the course of like 7 rounds or something like that, casting Dispel Magic over and over and over on Ziguch, hoping to eventually dispel the dominate person on him. After like the 7th attempt, succeeded, and Ziguch was freed, and he was then able to free Oran from his dominate, and he was able to unstone Jessup. So the whole fight took a whole 180, and it was suddenly everybody against the immortal Ichor, and the Ichor was not able to stick around for much longer once the buffs were thrown back on and everybody was focusing their fire on that one target. And with a destruction spell and a final slash of a good aligned weapon, you guys were able to put the creature down for good, leaving you in the room with the now sober is not the right word, but in his own mind, Ziguch, who you asked a couple questions to, just about the state of affairs of things, pretty much. And Ziguch more or less redirected all of your questions towards the sand pit in the center of the room. And anytime he asked it a question, the sand moved and formed into the answer. So it turned into a map of the vault, and it pointed out the different nexuses that were providing power for this effect that was going on in the Onyx Citadel. And it would like zoom in on that area and like show you in more detail. And then he had asked it, what this effect was doing, and you were all treated to the rather horrific sight of the vault being ripped out of the plane of Earth and transported onto the material plane above the nations of Nirmathas and Multhun, as it then fell down in an impact not seen since Earthfall, causing catastrophic devastation to most, if not all, of Galarian. And the time frame you had to work with, after some calculation, turned out to be just barely under 24 hours, essentially. But I can't remember exactly how much information you got, but you would have also been easily able to find out that disrupting the flow of power from each of the three nexuses would extend your time by some amount, doubling it each time. So were you lucky enough to disrupt all three of them within the next day, you might buy yourself as much as a week before things got dangerous. And with that, Ziguch basically said that you could tell that his concern wasn't in the same place that your concern was, as he decided that he needed to go off who knows where, somewhere else in the vault, somewhere else in the plane of Earth, maybe a different plane entirely, no idea. But he needed to go off and awaken some of his brethren, maybe other vault keepers, maybe even other vault builders, to come and reclaim the vault. But you don't know how long such a plan would be, or even how the passage of time really goes for a creature that has been alive since, like, maybe the beginning of time. Who knows? These ancient creatures, awakening could take decades, could take centuries. You have no idea. So you find yourselves in this chamber here in the archives, alone, just the four of you, without really any backup, but with a potentially limitless amount of information about the vault in the form of this archival sand pit. What would everybody like to do? You might still be reeling a bit from your battle and from the shock of learning what was about to happen to your homeland, but you have a little bit of time.
I think we need to rest for 8 hours.
I love how in your telling of the story, you make us both seem like absolutely incompetent fools and the heroes. like, good lord, could you cut the sword any other way? No, he says.
Nope, that's the best way to do it. Yeah, you can't let the heroes, you can't let it get to their head.
Don't get a big head.
No, he's like, desperation, luck, barely odd chance. They scraped by a Pyrrhic victory. Wow, good for them. You
gotta keep them in their place, right?
I've been trying to explain to some of my other tables that you're a different sort of DM. He was like, I don't know, CC spells, they're just so sad because then you don't get to play, so I don't use them. And I was like, oh, that's different.
Jessup begs to differ.
Yeah, like that's different. I'm not used to that kind of table.
Well, no, he's nice. Remember the time that he didn't make the cleric have 2 heal spells?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's true.
I mean,
taking
he's
it easy on you
at
guys.
time. Yeah.
This whole AP has just been a cakewalk, really.
Jason just looks at a counter. He's like, these guys are never going to build a 16th character by next week. We're just going to have to fudge some of this right now.
Power word kill? Nah. Take that one out.
I do also love, I don't know if there was a disconnect between the intended effect of the AP as far as the scale of Meteor, but I remember when we looked it up, like out of session or something, like it would be world ending. like the size of the continent that would be just devastated. It would shake the ecos, like The world within.
Yeah, so the whole vault is 170 miles by 120 miles. Technically speaking, I did mess up it wouldn't be the entire vault, it would only be a 50-mile radius of the vault, so it would only be a 100-mile diameter circle, which is not hardly as bad, so you're totally fine.
Yeah.
Right, just an extinction event, kind of like the dinosaurs,
Yeah.
But life will go on.
Nothing to be worried about.
I forget how everyone used all their spells. Yeah, that's the problem. Are we good?
Nope, Jessup didn't because I wasn't
Jessup,
around.
good to go.
Oh yeah, man, I got tons of spell slots open here.
Spell slots. I got those for days.
Well, let's just say my level 3s, I've got one left. That is my Dispel Magic slot. So yeah, that's pretty much gone. I have no level 6. I'm almost at a level 5. I'm pretty tapped, but we don't have time to rest. It's like, what you gonna do?
Technically, you do.
Technically, if we absolutely had to.
You got 22 hours, 8 hours out of that. It's nothing.
We get one rest. This is the most unfair thing they could do in a book 6.
You could fit 2 rests in there.
And watch the world burn. Okay.
At this point, I feel like Kieran's just you know what? This is not worth the effort. I think I'll just die. And he's just gonna lay face down in the sand.
But don't forget, if you do the nexuses, you double your time, so you get plenty of time. You're good to go.
We need to rush that first nexus. I think that can we commune with the sand to find which of the 3 may be most vulnerable at this moment?
So if you go up to the sands and you maybe ask a couple questions about it will zoom into each of the 3 nexuses and show you their locations, what they look like, where they are, that sort of thing, how to get to them even. But you do quickly realize that the information it's giving you isn't live footage. It doesn't show if there's hobgoblins guarding these. It just shows you what they are, where they are, and that sort of deal. So if you were to look at the 3, I can give you and you ask questions about them, I'll give you a brief overview. The first nexus it appears to be located in an abandoned quarry. So that would be, I'll mark, you can see the overview of the vault map, right?
Yeah, we're good.
Okay. So right here, this one to the bottom right, it is located in an old quarry. So it would be rather easy to get to. You just have to, because it's an open quarry, you could either fly in or just climb down into it. And it's just kind of in the center there, hovering above the ground, this large arrangement of crystals and stones floating in the air. The one to the top is located inside of a volcano. You can see that there are 2 means of entry that the sands show you. There is a old pathway that kind of climbs up the side of the mountain about 400 feet and then enters an old, what would have been a lava tube that has cooled down into an actual cave now that is some several hundred feet deep going into the mountain and opens into a wide cavern. And it is within this cavern that this nexus is located. It looks almost identical to the other one, just floating inside of this cavern here. And the second way would be to go straight in from the caldera at the top and go 2,000 feet down straight from the top of the dormant volcano in, sort of like that. The third, to the bottom left, is located on a hill on the edge of a silver river. I guess you wouldn't actually know that it's silver because the sand doesn't give you color, but you would have seen it when you were floating in the air above. The river that goes into the south of the central lake is silver, while the river that goes from the north is regular clear water. So the lake kind of mixes between the two.
I feel like that's not good drinking water.
Maybe. It's hard to say. But those are an overview of the 3. If you have more specific questions, we can go into those as well.
Good thing I'm not a werewolf disciple, because that would be bad.
Do we know, before they repurposed the Nexi to harness the energy to create a dome, do we know what they were used for or what repercussions will be if we turn them off?
So asking the sands, their purposes and whatnot, it seems It's a little bit difficult to understand what the sand is trying to show at times because it doesn't speak, it only shows you images. But especially you, Jessup, with your abilities of both linguistics and performance and your understanding of telling stories and whatnot, you're able to piece together this pretty well. It seems that these nexuses in general were placed to maintain the ecosystem of this vault, to make sure that it still had like flowing rivers and it had the weather was going and everything was in harmony, essentially. And it wasn't until recently that these nexuses were repurposed. You think if you were to unattune them to the directions that they're currently pointing towards the Onyx Citadel, you wouldn't like cause any sort of destruction or anything. In fact, you'd technically be helping the vault. The tremors that have been occurring recently, I think you've experienced 2 of them while you have been in the vault. Those would cease as the nexuses would restabilize the area, and you would also be extending that timer from the event from going off.
But we want to be sure that we're not destroying them per se, more like nuking everyone that's there and then moving them, unaligning them. What does that process look like? Some arcane rolls?
Yeah, so if you ask the sands, how do we unattune them, or what happens if we destroy them, that sort of thing, then there are a couple different ways that you could untune these. You could manually like disable them by it shows you like a close-up of these nexuses, and they're a very intricate arrangement of crystals, gems, and stone. You could disable them manually by rearranging that arrangement, which would be some sort of disable device check or use magic device check, as these are functionally magical items, as well as locks and extremely complex physical items. So those would be 2 options, and that would take you like maybe a minute or 2 for each attempt. They're very, very complex. Alternatively, you could try to just, by brute force, physically move the nexuses to be unaligned, which would just be a straight strength check. And that just involves moving the dais that they're floating on, basically, into a different direction. And it shows that another option would actually be to sunder the crystals that are channeling this geomantic power, but in doing so, you would get the effect of extending your time frame, but it would also not do anything to stop the destabilization of the vault. So it's not going to... The vault wouldn't be transported necessarily as quickly, but it's not helping anybody who stays on the vault long term.
I guess we should help the Petches too.
But that gives you basically 4 options: disable device, use magic device, strength, or just break them.
Could some of those attempts be made at the same time, like somebody's trying to disable device or magic arcana? Can somebody be pushing on it, or would they inhibit each other?
The disable device and the use magic device cannot be done at the same time because they are essentially the same thing, just different ways of doing it. The strength check, sure, because that's just moving the whole thing, so you could have somebody on it doing something while moving the whole thing. But if you were to like then picture like the scale of it, and it would like make a picture of one of you guys in the sand next to it, these nexuses are very large. It would take a considerable amount of strength to move them. Maybe not impossible, but it would definitely be difficult.
Maybe even more than the gate that we tried to siege.
What was the DC for the... Yeah, it would probably be harder than the gate, but you also, in an ideal situation, wouldn't necessarily be under attack, but...
Correct. So we would have Bear's Endurance going on, and we would have...
You could try to take 20, and you could try to aid each other, that sort of thing, assuming that you weren't actively being hindered.
Can it provide us layouts of the interior of the 3 nexi?
Yeah, so it actually shows you an overview picture of the whole place. The quarry is very straightforward. It's basically just an open pit that was dug straight down in and abandoned some long time ago, probably. You don't know when. But there's different trails that just go straight down into it. There's really not a whole lot to that. It's just out in the open. Same with the one by the river. It's just basically on a hill. There's nothing really around it to hinder you. And the one in the volcano is a little bit more involved because you'd have to either come in from the top or go through that tunnel, but it will show you like how to get there. It's I don't really know the best way to describe it, but it's like the sands move in such a way that it's almost like a camera zooming along the trail type of a thing. And it shows you that cavern, and it's just a very big open cavern. If you were to like eyeball the distances, you'd think that the cavern's probably, let me see, it gives me an exact amount of the exact size of this cavern here. It's about like a 500 foot wide cavern with a 100 foot ceiling. Like it's a very, very big cavern.
Gotcha. Oh, maybe I missed that. So these crystals, they're not in like a temple or anything. They're just literally wide out in the open.
Nope, they're just right out in natural locations.
Okay, my apologies. I thought they were in like a temple or, you know, like Halo, you got to go in and you got to go find the key. So you're going through this labyrinth maze. I was hoping it would show us a diagram and cheat of a fog of war, but I guess it's just there.
No, it looks like these nexuses, you don't know if maybe that's the case for other ones, because there are other nexuses in the vault, but for these three, it looks like they are placed in just the closest they can be to natural locations of different elements. So like stone for the quarry, water for the river that's next to the hill, fire for the volcano, something like that.
Yeah, I find it kind of interesting though too, as far as like, I don't know how guarded to expect these places to be, because up until now, surely there was no threat within the vault, except that they know that we were en route and they kind of closed the gate, so that's why we fell from the top. So like they know we're here, but other than that, I don't know how tight security would be, especially with how much of their force is elsewhere on material planes.
Well, seeing how none of their force now basically can get to Phaendar, I'm sure, yeah, a couple of them are here.
Pretty much we made it worse.
We are trapped basically with like 90+% of the Iron Fang Legion, so
yeah, we made it worse. I was going to make a joke earlier. Can I roll military science to get a good approach? No, but maybe professional soldier.
But hey, on the bright side, we're in the vault if it gets transported to Galarian, so we'll be fine, right?
Yeah. We'll just have to live with the guilt. Okay, yeah. Great.
And we don't have any females, so the entire race of all of us will die out. So.
Oh, well, thanks. Then 2E would have never happened. Sorry, Paizo, just kidding. I love your products.
So I would say my vote is probably to go to the volcano first, and the reason why is because during that fight against the Ichor, I cast Life Bubble, which will prevent us from taking damage due to like extreme temperatures. So I don't know if the volcano would have like passive heat damage that you're taking, but we should be protected from that because of that spell, and it only lasts for a couple of hours. So if we wanted to take advantage of that, we could do the volcano first.
We should hurry.
Yeah, I'm not going to ask the sand. I'm pretty sure it's not going to happen, but there's not any fancy dance teleporters or anywhere around here. We can just zip right to somewhere, can we? Nothing overly convenient.
If you ask it about teleporters, it would shift and it would show an image of the Onyx Citadel, and it would kind of zoom into a part of the Onyx Citadel where you see similar arches to what you used to get here from the towers.
Kieran is the teleporter.
What I wanted, yeah. So Kieran, just looking at teleport, I mean, I don't know if you have any spell slots open, but you viewed this once. So on a 1 to 76, you can get us there. No problem. If we got an overview, it was so high you could see the river being silver, so we're good.
You can't plane shift with teleport, right? Like if I messed up, we wouldn't end up back on Galarian.
Can you imagine rolling 100, a massive mishap, and then Jason's like, "Yeah, you just teleport next to a Xerxes in the Onyx Citadel somehow."
There are 500 troops around you. Like, we're just gonna call the AP there. You failed.
Literally 500 troops.
Yeah, troops.
Yeah, not 500 individual. We're talking like immediate damage.
Yeah.
I mean, you could end up on a different vault within the plane of Earth.
Huh.
Well, that would just be silly. DM wouldn't do that. That would just be...
And yet again, we wouldn't be affected by what happens when this vault goes to Galarian. So we could just live our lives in comfort and pleasure.
Yeah, you only know how 100 miles per caster level. The next plane or the next vault could be more than hundreds of miles apart. I mean, it's infinite distance, probably.
I mean, the plane of Earth is infinite, so.
Yeah, so it would be very unlikely for that to happen, even.
I do have 2 level 5 spell slots for teleport, so if we want to take our chances, we can do that.
Also, just for your own information, for the purposes of the teleport spell, the sands can give you an image of the location in enough clarity that it would be akin to currently physically seeing it, which would be the same as studied carefully.
Oh.
Studied carefully is a place you know well, either because you can currently physically see it or that you've been there often. And these sands can give you a map in such like 3-dimensional clarity that it's as good as like being 1,000 feet away and seeing where you want to go.
We'll be fine. Let's do that. We'll be fine. Oh, in the meantime, Jason, I have on the inventory sheet Pearl Bracer's book.
Oh yes, we got loot. Let's go, Sarah.
You got loot. Yes, and I remember that I had misspoken there. It was not a pearl; it was a stone.
Oh,
A runestone.
I want a pearl instead.
You don't know?
Yeah, I thought you made it a stone or a pearl instead on purpose.
No, I made it a stone instead on purpose.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, you had it the right idea, but backwards.
Yep.
So, yeah, go ahead and make some spellcraft checks on those 3 items. Bracers, a book, and a runestone of some sorts, which you have no idea what that is.
Try to aid.
I aid on 2 of them.
I aid on 2 of them.
All right, so the first one I have is the stone. So my spellcraft check is a 32 plus 6 is 38.
All right.
I like that you just already know. Appreciate it, Kieran.
Well, you always say that you just auto aid. If you don't want to, that's really fine.
I just don't even have to say it anymore. We just know.
Yeah.
Everybody knows Jessup can't fail.
Well, not with aiding.
He can on a check to not turn to stone.
Oh, snap.
Hey!
That's just the bane. That's just the bard bane.
Right.
All right, so that check is enough to beat the DC 32 spellcraft to identify this as a runestone of power level 6.
Oh, snap.
So essentially, a runestone of power is a small chip of polished stone etched with a rune. It is crafted so that all casters, all spontaneous casters, can use it. Once per day, a spontaneous caster can draw upon the runestone to cast a spell. Doing so is part of the spellcasting action, yada yada. It functionally gives you an extra spell slot, basically.
That's not insignificant for level 6. So that would be a Jessup or Kieran item. Or Gideon is spontaneous as well.
Yeah, it could be any of us.
And that's any level 6 or lesser spell?
Yes.
Slot, is that what that's for? Okay.
Technically, yeah, because it's a 6th level, and you can spontaneously upscale them. So yeah.
Yeah, and you're a quarter or 3/4 caster, right? So you've got 6th level spells, Brandon.
I have 1.
I don't get any. My progression's too slow.
Yeah, my only 6. Actually, no, I'm sorry. I have 2: Brilliant Inspiration and Artificer's Curse.
Just kidding. I lied. I just got some this level. I just forget.
It's a pretty important thing to
Oran's a
forget.
prepared caster, correct?
Yes.
So that's where a pearl would have benefited you, but Jason was like, haha, no pearl for you, Oran.
You got a hammer, be happy.
Yeah, you know what else is funny? Would have gave me an extra cast of heal or an extra cast of cold ice strike.
We have an extra cast of heal. That's our omdura.
Or omdura. Yeah.
Okay, so that's the runestone of power. So the next item I have are the bracers. So I'm assuming Jessup is auto-aiding that again, so the 2 aids on this one. Check is a 38 plus 4, 42.
All right, and this one is the bracers, you say?
The bracers, correct.
All right, you are able to identify these as bracers of armor plus 5.
Whoa, Jessup item if I ever heard one.
No.
Do you
Kieran
not wear
item.
armor?
You said Jessup, didn't you?
Yeah, do you not wear armor?
Oh, no, Jessup's just completely in his skivvies.
He fights nude.
Jessup has armor.
Yeah, no, I got armor. I have I'm trying to remember, it's the good one, Celestial armor, I believe.
Oh, you
Yeah.
got the good one. Yeah, that's a good one.
Yeah, no, I
That's
definitely
what
wear
bars
armor.
want.
Kieran does not wear armor.
No, Kieran doesn't wear anything. Kieran's just abs.
Oh, sorry.
And
Abs.
tight glutes, man. Tight glutes.
Abs all the way down.
So that, I think, is a Kieran drop. Don't you? What are the bracers you currently have, Kieran?
I mean, so far I'm seeing 2 Kieran drops, if I'm not incorrect. So,
well, remember the first one is any of us, and another casting of heal, I would argue, is pretty.
No, I can't.
Good.
Well, maybe for you, right?
Yeah, I can cast heal at level 6. So
I mean, or I could cast another chain lightning. Let's see which one's more important here.
Well, probably since everything's immune to lightning. Well, that's not true.
Get destroyed.
So my current bracers are +4 bracers. So this will give me a +1 to my AC.
So Kieran gets to choose one of them. Otherwise, Jessup will wear the bracers as a fashion statement only.
And Kieran will go back to wearing his items that make his pants exist.
To be fair, if you don't have anything on your bracers, somebody could wear the bracers +4, and they would affect incorporeal attacks.
That's true.
Yeah.
This is accurate. All right, so the last item I see here is a book, which is useless. So Kieran
Probably a
doesn't
tome
read.
for an innate trait.
This is going to be the one I fail on. Just wait. So 2 aids on this one. Spellcraft is a 30, so a 34.
You had,
All right.
you had 1 aid on that one.
Yeah.
You both failed?
Yeah.
Oh, you
I
did.
got a
natural
9 and
1
Gideon got
9.
a 4.
Okay, yep. So 32.
Useless. Josh, I would have loved for this to be like a tome of something +6, and it takes you a week to learn it, and you only have a week in the AP.
I was expecting that level of. I thought for sure you would do that to
Some
me.
tongue-in-cheek humor there.
Yeah.
This is a book of the lore master.
Oh, okay. Yeah, good stuff. Good stuff. This is for Jessup.
Kieran tosses that into the sand.
No!
So basically 3 times a day, a bard can consult the book when using the lore master class feature to gain a +5 competence bonus when taking 10 or taking 20 on a knowledge check.
Oh, that's big.
Wow. Holy cow.
It's a pretty expensive book.
Jessup is quite alright with passing on that runestone. Because it's a fancy dancy book.
That none of us can use.
Well, looks like Kieran gets a runestone and bracers of armor +5.
That's what I heard.
Sarah,
It's about
no.
time. It's about
No, he
time
made
Kieran
it.
got some magic items.
Yep.
He made it for me. I won it.
Nope.
Well, then you should have been more specific as to what it did, because it also benefits me.
You see, my intent was that the hammer would go to Jessup, and then the book would go to Gideon. And
Ah.
The runestone would go to Oran,
Yep.
and Kieran still gets bracers. So
Did you say a 6th level though?
Yeah.
Whew, sorry. As far as GP value, Jessup got the short end of the stick. Oh,
You say
man.
that when that extra 5 makes a difference on my knowledge roll check.
I was going to say, he
Yeah,
knows
right.
everything now.
we're gonna get to the final boss. We're gonna be up against a Xerxes, and it's gonna come down to we need to roll a knowledge history check. And if we pass the check, Jessup knows exactly what to say to get her to back down and stop the AP peacefully. And that +5 is going to be what we need.
I'm just going to piss off Jason, not use the book until the very end of the fight, and then I'm going to do a knowledge local. Be like, Jason, what's our classes?
Cool. So I guess it's
20th
kind
level
of
paladin.
it's kind of self-explanatory as to what goes to whom. So I will divvy those out. I marked them on the inventory, but we don't need them on the inventory if we know who they're going to. Does anybody want my bracers of armor +4? I'll just stick them in the bag otherwise.
If you don't have one in that slot, Jason is technically correct. You will gain a very modest bonus.
Do you have bracers, Gideon?
Merciful Knight. Yep, I got some.
Oh, okay. But I'll say, because I mean, do you have your whatever the armor proficiency is, so you can sleep in your heavy armor and not get fatigued?
Yes, I have endurance.
I'll say, because if you didn't, then you could, and then you're not fully naked. Then you're like Wonder Woman with bracers. You can
He's
block an
just
incoming
all
ranged
naked
attack.
except 2 bracers on.
2 bracers.
That's just the bracers. That's his berry picking armor. That's it. Just bracers now.
Wow.
That's amazing. Oh, that's so
Step
funny.
aside, Wonder Woman. Make room for Everstand.
All right. Well, not too shabbaroo there.
You said it is a level 6 Runestone of Power, so I get basically an extra floating spell slot. That's so good.
Yep. I think that's the 4th time that we've said that. Still
I know. I'm in awe. I just love it.
Just,
It's just the
Just
power.
to reiterate, it is a level 6.
It's just amazing, you know? It's just
spontaneous caster. You
I'm
get
so
another heal.
happy.
Was that
I'm
for
happy.
prepared caster again?
Nope, spontaneous.
We probably should look it up.
Shame.
What level was it? I forget. What level? 5? 4?
No, 6.
6. Okay,
for
6. Yeah.
Means
Yeah.
my whole spells. All of
Dude, you
them.
should use it on a cantrip.
You could.
I don't even think you can. It'd have to be a level 1 spell.
Dude, heighten it. Heighten a cantrip, dude. Do it.
All right, thoughts on next steps. So it looks like Gideon had a scroll of lesser restoration that I'm assuming he was giving to Oran to cure his wisdom damage.
Yes. You've got to go ahead and roll me a D4, bud. That's how much you'll be able to heal.
Well, I only need 1.
Nice.
4.
Smarter than I was.
So I only have 2 of those. Does anybody else have anything that can be used? A lesser restoration will be enough.
I'm good to go. So yeah, thoughts on first place that we go, and then we can ask the sand to
Wherever
show
you
us.
teleport. Yeah, let's go to Mountain Dew.
Volcano.
Did you say Mountain Dew?
Yes, that's Mountain
Yes,
Dew.
let's go to Mountain Dew. That's exactly what he said.
That's 100%
Not
what I
Mountain,
said.
Mount Doom, Mountain Dew. Let's go to Mountain Dew.
Yes.
Mountain Doom, but spelled D-U-W-M.
That's right. We've got to do the do. It's do or die. We've just got to just do
Stop.
it.
Stop.
Do it to it,
So you speak to the sands and have it show you a intricate and detailed image of this cavern. Again, you don't really get any color or anything, but you can tell that there is like a solid floor here, it looks like. So it seems like this is probably a dormant volcano. That, or at the very least, it has cooled enough to have a solid floor. And you cast teleport.
I know, I love that Jason's like, probably.
Probably a
Probably
dormant.
dormant.
Like, oh, okay, all right, probably. That's
We
fine.
get there just as it is awakening for the first time in centuries.
Have you noticed that as a DM, Jason has adopted the legalese, let's cover our bases
Right.
way of speaking? I mean, to the best of our knowledge, it would be very unlikely, although still technically possible.
So I would like to just point out, rolled a 4 on my D100, so we get within the exact longitude and latitude that I saw in the sand.
All right.
Jason's like, I was going to give that to you anyway. But
I know, he's so painfully dismissive
I'll
sometimes.
just move you guys one square to the left here.
Well, this
All
is
right.
scary because I'm on a map of black and all I see is my health.
my health is your health bar.
All right.
Yep.
You guys teleport into this cavern, and luckily, because of the life bubble, you aren't immediately besieged by immense heat. But as you look around, there is definitely a solid floor here. However, you can see cracks in the floor where there is a faint red glow. And as you kind of look further from where you're currently standing, there are some particularly large spots that look like the floor is a bit thinner than other spots. Let me reveal this map for you.
Good thing I'm flying. Ooh, this is
Ooh,
pretty.
that is cool. Is this one of your AI generated maps, bud?
Yeah.
Because it looks cool.
This was a map that I got on Midjourney, yeah. I
Nice.
was pretty
This
happy
is
with the
nice.
result.
Dude, this looks awesome.
This
Well
is
done.
really pretty.
Yeah, I liked it. I liked it quite a bit. So,
Wait, Midjourney made this one.
yeah.
AI, man. AI is the future.
I'm sorry to every artist ever. I apologize. Wow. Wow.
I don't. Get good.
Get better. Get better. Catch up.
Listen, now you got competition. It's just going to make you be better. So,
But the shadows too. Look
Yeah.
nice.
So, you guys teleport into here, and you teleport on a relatively safe spot here. You do see a couple spots that you think may or may not be able to hold your weight. Again, it's red. The stone is very red, glowing red. You can tell that this is not necessarily a dormant volcano, but
shocker.
yeah, it looks like it might have recently been in the process of heating up, and you don't know if maybe that is a side effect of the alignment of the the nexus here, or if that was just a natural occurrence that has been happening since long before it got tampered with. It's hard to say. But you appear here, you teleport in, and you start looking around, and within a few seconds, there is a deafeningly loud roar, but it almost sounds like a wail. Something in between a shout of anger and a sob, as a voice bellows out from across the chamber and says, "Who's there?" And you look in that direction and you see a very, very large, frightening creature, a form that you've seen two similar specimens of. Let me put this on the map for you to see.
Is it a bullet? Oh, it's a dragoon.
It's a crab rangoon.
You see a huge dragon. You would have to make a knowledge check to know what kind of dragon you're looking at. But if it wasn't somewhat obvious.
Lava
Kieran
dragon.
just knows. Magma dragon. Magma dragman.
Yeah, it would
Really?
be
Are you
pretty-
sure? It looks like a blue dragon to me.
Yeah,
It's Morvedon.
yeah. It looks like a magma dragon of some type, and the creature bellows out at you, saying, "Who's there?" As very, very promptly after you appear, and then continues, "Were 3 scales not enough for you? You've come back for more?"
What language is this speaking, Jason?
It is speaking Draconic.
Oh, okay. So Kieran and Jessup know.
Yeah, this one is all you, buds.
Okay.
I mean, I speak Draconic, but it's fine. Leave me out.
Okay, it's
Since when?
everyone but me. Okay.
Sorry, I
You
guess.
guys have fun role playing. I'm gonna go get a drink.
Jessup would speak up. No, we're not here for anything of the like. We're actually here to check on the Nexus Crystal. I assume that the thieves of your magnificent scales were part of the dastardly Iron Fang Legion?
The dragon moves closer to all of you.
And Jason, I want to do a knowledge check on this dragon as I'm observing it.
That'd be a knowledge arcana, yep.
Okay. Yep, sure. Jessup will do the same. Ooh, not too bad. 32 for Jessup.
Natural
Ooh,
one.
Kieran.
Can you aid that? Is that an aidable seal?
I would
Oh.
well, I mean, in
I
this
will
situation,
try
I would
to
say
aid
no,
Jessup.
but
All
because
right.
are we really like compiling our knowledge in this moment as it's walking towards us?
I'm whispering to him what I see.
You're like, it's red.
It's red. It's got scales. 3
I
of
bet
which
it-
are missing.
I bet it breathes fire.
Yeah. It
Also-
could probably fly.
How dumb is it that I rolled a natural 1 when it's about dragons? It's my whole shtick.
So, Kieran, what I'll give you on that is you are able to identify it as a magma dragon, and I'll give you that you can identify that it is an ancient magma dragon, but you don't really get much beyond that, primarily because it's a bit unique. You can see that the scales of this dragon are various shades of bright red, orange, yellow. It's almost like a kaleidoscopic rainbow of those 3 colors across the scales of this dragon, which is not necessarily typical. They kind of glitter in the light that is peeking out from some of the cracks of this cavern, from the lava chutes and so on. And the creature, as I said, is kind of bounding towards you as you respond to it. And as you guys are kind of looking and studying it, and Oran is whispering over to Jessup, be like, "Oh, it's great red scales," and like all this, like whispering his descriptions of it. The dragon comes up to here and then stops, and it looks over in the direction of you, Oran, as it hears you whispering, as dragons are known to have frightfully good senses. And it stops and says, "Yes, my scales are magnificent. I'll allow you to look at them for a bit. Though, as I've said, they've been stolen." And it like rears up a bit to show you, and you can see, as I said, glittering scales. It's a beautiful array, but there are 3 clear gaps, you could say. 3 scales that are just missing.
Magic missile.
You can
Please, no.
you can see that there's a great sort of mournful expression on this dragon. Some of you have pretty decent sense motive, so you would be able to at least gather that much. As the dragon looks down at these gaps in its glittering scales and says, "My beauty has been besmirched while I slept. I have already felled the would-be thieves, but that does not bring back what has been lost."
Do you know where they took your scales?
The scales did not leave. I still have them, but they are no longer part of me, so what use are they?
Do you think that with the application of healing magic that we could make the scales return to where they were taken from?
The dragon kind of leaps into the air a bit and lands right next to you, Kieran. Brings its head right next to you. Says, "Healing magic. Perhaps if you are strong enough." And anybody who'd like, go ahead and roll me either a spellcraft or a heal check.
Ooh.
Ooh, I'll do a heal check.
I'll do a spellcraft. I'll hear Kieran on his spellcraft. We'll put our minds together.
A 39?
Wow.
All
Plus
right.
2, 41.
So 41, nice.
All right, so a 41 spellcraft, and we have a 24 heal from Oran. So both of you would be able to come to the same conclusion, basically, just coming at it from different angles. The spells that would be useful here would not include regular healing spells. And Oran, you probably come to this conclusion almost quicker than the others do because you're coming at it from the heal side. If these scales, again, you're not 100% expert on dragon physiology and whatnot, but biology and so on. But if these scales count as like a part of the body, then they could be reattached or even regrown, but it would require a regenerate spell rather than just a heal spell, as they aren't necessarily wounds on the creature. They are missing pieces of it.
Another option would be we could kill the dragon and then bring it back from the dead, and maybe it would come back with all its scales.
Kieran, I'm not sure what angle you're playing today, but I don't like it.
The dragon immediately eats Kieran for such
Fire
a
breath.
suggestion.
So about regenerate, I'm guessing you don't have it prepared, but it's one that could be prepared.
It could be prepared. I don't have it prepared right this second.
Jessup will kind of say aloud, I guess, well, if we do not have the spell prepared today, what if, Oran, if you would oblige tomorrow, and perhaps this magnificent dragon would help us find the Nexus crystal? We can unattune it, double our time. We want to rest anyway, and then we can help him first thing in the morning.
That could work. I think that's a pretty good plan. I need a good rest, but yeah, I'd be happy to do it.
The dragon moves over a little bit to be next to you, Jessup, and
This guy's weirdly edging closer and eats you.
looks at you very closely and says, "Well, I suppose your eyes aren't for nothing, are they? You are able to recognize beauty when you see it."
Oh, but of course. I not even sure I dare look upon your beauty as long as I can, because I'm not worthy. None of us are.
An appropriate response. Well, if you're able to return my scales to me, I would be very grateful, but I've been lied to before, and I know that your weaker kind will say anything to get out with their lives. How do I know that you will indeed make true your promise?
I'm not sure what I can give you other than potentially my word, unless someone else speaks up here. I can certainly tell you that none of us are thieves. My disabled device is pitifully low, and the clicky-clank armor over there would not even remotely get close to you without you knowing.
Gideon, seeing that he's been gestured to in conversation, does not quite understand the context and provides a bow.
Do I know anything about magma dragons and their personality? Anything that might appeal to them? Flattery, it seems like, appeals to them. But I have an idea where I could turn into a blue dragon, a smaller blue dragon, and bow down as a sign of oh, I'm you can take my word for it, but I don't know if they care anything about like honor or.
Kieran, you would get the sense that you don't know. I can't give you great detail given your role there, but I will tell you at least this. You are not sure whether or not that idea would be seen as a form of respect, or if seeing another dragon in its own lair would be more of a threat.
Yeah, that's what I was afraid of.
You're not 100% sure. You do know that magma dragons typically are chaotic neutral, so they're not necessarily evil-aligned dragons. Jessup, I will give you, because you rolled like a 40-something. I forget what you rolled. 34, 30...
It was 32, but we can go with 40-something.
32? Yeah,
let's go with a 40.
Just making that up. So, Jessup, with that roll, you would be able to get 2 pieces of information about magma dragons, in addition to what I've already kind of said about, alignment and it's a magma dragon, ancient magma dragon, and so on.
Other than, I guess to Kieran's thought process, I want to kiss his butt because he go kill us, and I don't want that. So I guess, is there anything that we can do that he would like besides flattery?
Okay. Roll me a sense motive as well.
I do have a thought that I could bring up, but I can also wait for the roll.
42.
Okay. So you're able to get a pretty decent grasp of the situation here. It seems like this particular magma dragon is extremely vain, very obsessed with its own appearance, and that is probably due to whatever alterations occurred to give it its glittering scales, which are not typical for a magma dragon necessarily. You think that clearly flattery and showing respect and basically treating this dragon as kind of like you would treat royalty or something like that, with extreme deference, is definitely the way to go with this. I would give you a little bit of extra information on top of that. You would be able to tell, mainly given the voice and the overall, I guess, size of this magma dragon, given that it is ancient, it is not as big as other ancient dragons might be. You think this is probably a female dragon, not a male dragon. And I forget what else you asked about other things you could do. You think pretty much showing deference, respect, and flattery are the things that you need to do. That beyond that, nothing else is going to be quite as effective as those, you think?
I do have an idea that goes in line with that then. So Kieran is going to do a bow as he would to somebody of higher nobility. And he will say, my good dragon, if you would allow us to give an offering to your horde as a sign of our respect and our trustworthiness.
Yes, I suppose it is only right. For intruding upon my lair, a toll must be paid. Yes, I will accept this gift from you. As far as your nexus, it is over there. And the dragon, she kind of flicks her head in the direction to the left, and you can see hovering over a particularly precarious looking part of the floor is the nexus. It's floating a couple feet off of the ground, so it's not like putting pressure there or anything, but it's actually not too far away, but it's kind of been encased in molten material, so it's not as clear as you might have expected. You'd probably have to go in there and either brush off or crack away at some of the residual stuff that is caked over it, but after it's pointed out, you are able to see it quite clearly. It's not too far from you. It's in the same cavern here.
Yes, Kieran, I believe that you're onto something.
So the only thing I can say that we could give to you is the finest items that we have in our possession, my good dragon. And he is going to pull out the 10,000 gold worth of random gemstones that we acquired. And then also I thought that this is kind of stupid, but we also have 3 silver grooming kits, which I'm assuming might include mirrors. So if she wanted mirrors to be able to look at herself, I can throw those in there as well.
Those compact discs will be sand in a week.
Probably, yeah.
I'd just like to point out, Kieran, you're just shoveling out all this gold with our diplomacy check. And I think the last time I did that, I got yelled at. I'm just saying.
It's book 6, man. We're not going to be able to make use of this.
See, this is the difference. Sarah the player. What's the matter? We're not gonna use this later. Like, what are we gonna do? Buy more campaign? No.
This is the difference of Kieran just found out that there's potentially 24 hours for life to exist on Galarian, and so there's a bit of desperation and willing to do.
No, you should still
what it
be
takes.
stingy. I think that makes the most amount of sense.
Gotta be consistent.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Stingy, says the one with no gold.
Oh well, I've ordered diamond dust. I need that for something. It's a surprise tool we'll use later.
You show these offerings to the dragon, and she responds and says, I will allow you to speak my name while you are in my presence. My name is Irigibel the Illuminated. And as for your offering here, while I would normally accept it gratefully, I have no more need of extra gems at the moment, but if you had something that could assist me in preventing more thieves from coming in and stealing what is mine, that would be far more appreciated.
Oh boy.
Well, after we attune the crystals here, this nexus and the two other ones, we are going to just dismantle and kill most of the Legion, so you don't have to worry about them at all.
That's quite the approach. Don't worry, we're gonna kill them all. The women and the children too. We'll slaughter them. You won't have to worry.
What do I have? I don't know if
Do you have an alarm thing of any kind?
I was thinking about that. Can I give her an alarm spell cantrip? Just a single activation.
Oh wait, can I give her a signal whistle?
Who's she gonna signal herself?
Yes.
Thieves!
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 So essentially, any item that can be used either to protect an area or to protect herself would suffice for her needs. And it's lenient and vague on what qualifies to meet those conditions, but essentially any sort of like you could even make the argument of like a good offense is a good defense if you have an item that you could somehow portray in a way as helping her to this endeavor, even if it is not necessarily a defensive item.
Do dragons maybe use swords? Because I've got that large anarchic obsidian 9-ringed giant thing. Put it in her mouth. Could be like Zorro.
It would probably be less effective than her actual
What are
teeth.
you calling
Now-
for?
She said against liars and thieves, right?
In this, what she just said was about thieves coming in and stealing what is hers. She mentioned being lied to before, but that's not what she mentioned in this particular request.
Okay. Well, I don't know, and I could argue. I do have Spectacles of Understanding, which she could at least see. I know it's not helping for anybody stealing, but any forgeries, if anybody's trying to woo her with documentation,
Okay.
like the IRS.
A good contract. I hate it when they woo me with documentation.
Woo wee
Hey.
documentation.
You should see me at a mortgage
Hey,
closing.
I was gonna say, hey little lady, let me show you my papers.
Look how I staple these.
Stop! I can't stand it.
I just wait to become until I become a notary.
You could just bard it up.
I've got the cat's eye crown. I could give up.
Oh, that's not a bad one.
I have, this one's really dumb, but I could give her the Wand of Heightened Awareness that has 23 charges so that she would have a jump on her initiative.
Okay. Those are all potential options.
Yeah, she can't wear my shoes because those would help her in a surprise round, but I have a potion of blur. I have 2 potions of blur.
Well, yeah, it would depend. I think wondrous items only work, like if you're polymorphed into something, they only work if they're like a constant effect, I think, right? You can't like use activated items.
Probably not. This one would be a hard sell, but the Rod of Wonder could do potentially things that would be beneficial.
She's got all the time in the world to cast.
Yeah.
Isn't there like zone spells that are not consecrate but are kind of like consecrate that can kind of like make a space nice and good, full
Yeah,
of buffs?
they're usually durations.
Oh. I have the Scroll of Gaseous Form that would allow her to get away. She would turn into gas.
Kieran, you would get the sense that if you were to subtly imply that she'd be running away,
Yeah.
she wouldn't like that as much as...
I thought we were saying a good defense, or no, it was the other way. A good offense is a good defense.
Yeah, running away also great defense. Great way to avoid.
Within the bounds of, staying in her lair so people don't steal her stuff. You've all given a number of options. It is up to you what you want your final, offering to be.
So, the cat's eye crown, she would get to cast clairvoyance once a day. The clairvoyance spell once a day, which would allow her to hear or see almost anywhere as if she was there. So she could cast it on, the entrance to her cave, maybe? Or wherever she keeps her goodies.
So yeah, like I said, make your offer and don't be too cheap as to offend her.
That's a 10,000 gold piece crown.
We're looking at 1 million gold at least.
At least.
Kieran is going to offer her 2 uses of Dust of Disappearance. So it's not going to be running away. It would just allow her to become invisible so that she could get the jump on them. So it basically, if I'm reading this correctly, it basically gives you greater invisibility for 2d6 rounds, but you don't know when the duration will end.
Okay.
Creature or object touched by it becomes invisible as greater invisibility. Normal vision can't see dusted creatures or objects, nor can they be detected by magical means, including see invisibility or invisibility purge. It does reveal people and objects made invisible. Oh, Dust of Appearance, sorry, does reveal people and objects made invisible by Dust of Disappearance. Other factors, sound and smell, allow possible detection, last for 2d6 rounds. So I have 2 uses of that I would offer up to her, and I would explain the potential, what it could do for her.
Okay.
I don't think it's a bad idea for each of us to offer something if we have
That's what I'm thinking.
something.
Jason, it is a stupid question, but if I try to give her the spectacles, can she even wear them?
So I'll give you this as your other question about magma dragons. They are capable of casting things like greater polymorph, so technically they can wear items of smaller size. It's just when they're in their normal form, they kind of disappear because of how polymorph works.
Right. Yeah, unfortunately, I don't think really Jessup's got too much to be able to offer. I mean, he can offer that, but that's...
I really don't have anything. I can give her a rose that'll give her guidance tomorrow.
Oh, gosh, Gideon. That's not how you woo a dragon. It is documentation. We've talked about that.
A cup of delicious tea.
Yeah, it'll become perfume in a day if she chooses not to use it. She can continue to think of him, I guess.
You all can tell, as you're discussing amongst yourselves what your offering should be, as time goes on, you can see that she is growing impatient, waiting for the final offering.
I guess the cat's eye crown is what Oran's going to offer. And he'll explain that she would have access to the clairvoyance spell. It would increase her dark vision range, and she could use the cat's eye to spy, if you will, on an area.
Well, and that's for a certain item too, right? Because isn't that you had to drop a crystal or something from it?
The eye, you have to take the gem off of it.
The gem in the crown.
Didn't we lose that though?
We did, but they're not expensive. They're not like a rare item.
Can we use any gem? Can we use any of the ones that we had?
If there was a cat's eye gem,
it has to
in
be a
there,
specific
sure.
cat's eye gem. Okay.
It's only 100 gold piece gem though.
Yeah, it's not terribly expensive.
I think it said specifically a cat's eye. Let me look here.
Statistically speaking, a dragon horde of this level
would have some cat's eye gems.
Probably has one.
Yeah.
I'm realizing. So I had one thing that might have been helpful, a scroll of dismissal, but I don't think even for the goblins are not extraplanar beings, so it wouldn't work.
Well, we could do, and even Oran, if you wanted to sell it, if she had one, we could offer to imbue it with the crown, and then when we leave tomorrow, we could take it and drop it somewhere where the Iron Fang would pick it up, so she could spy on them.
Okay, that's fair.
Yeah, that's true. That's a good point. And I can throw in the bracers of armor +4 in there too, just as a defensive item that she could wear.
Let her know and be like, I don't need these anymore. They're useless to me.
Useless.
No.
Have them.
He covers up the fancier stitching on his new bracers.
Right.
And Jason's like, I gave you that item only because I knew I was going to take it away from you.
Oh, that'd be great. I'd love that.
Didn't we still have a weapon of dragon slaying or something?
No.
We sold those.
That would go over well.
No,
Yeah, I was gonna say, here's this weapon that is especially good
well, no,
at
I was
killing
going to say
you.
we can give it to her, just saying if we somehow fall in battle and they take our loot, they can't use it against her.
I think you found a shield.
It was a shield of the Dragon Slayer, or Dragon Slayer shield. So I'm going to say the final offer is going to be 2 uses of Dust of Disappearance, the Cat's Eye Crown, and the Bracers of Armor +4.
Okay. Out of curiosity, what does that come up to gold piece-wise?
I don't know what the Cat's Eye Crown is.
I have on my sheet, it says 10,000 gold pieces, but then when I looked it up, it says 18,000 gold pieces, so I don't know which one's correct.
Wow. I think it's the one on the internet there. I don't know why you have...
I don't know why I have 10. Yeah, I have 10,000 next to it. So maybe it's a typo. Maybe I meant to have 18. So it's 18.
Wait, the creator must be catfolk?
Of the
Apparently.
item, yeah, to make
Yeah.
the crown, yeah.
Yeah, where else are you getting the eye?
Oh, no.
Lord.
No.
Terrible.
Dear God. It wasn't worth it. It wasn't worth it.
Brigitte has eyes if you have coin.
I feel bad for the blacksmith that made 2 of those.
It was worth it.
All right, so that'd be
So 18 for the cat's eye crown.
18.
All right, so it's 41,000 for all 3 of them.
All right. She looks over the gifts as you explain what they're used for, and she nods and says, "This is acceptable." And she kind of scoops them up in her clawed hands and drops them over here in her hoard for later use, and then comes and kind of rests right here, like lays down and just watches you, and she says, "Feel free to do whatever it is you need to with the Nexus."
Kieran's going to bow again.
Jessup will as well, and say, we very much appreciate that you find our tribute worthy. We shall do what we need with the crystal, and by our word, we will help you regain all of your pride tomorrow.
She does not respond. She just keeps looking at you.
Watch us not be able to do anything with this, and she's just like sitting there watching us.
Yeah, if for some reason Oran fails, Kieran, you need to ready a teleport oh so fast.
Yeah, for sure.
All right. So yeah, you guys are able to go over here to where the shard is. And like I said, you'd have to, I mean, most of you guys have the ability to fly over there, but as you get close to the edge here, you do think stepping in the wrong spot might be not great, depending on how heavy you are. But like I said, most of you guys have some ability to move either lightly or fly, and you would have to wipe off a like half-inch worth of ash and molten material, but you could uncover a rather brilliant crystal formation that is floating in the air there, and you can attempt to tinker around with it.
So our options were strength check to try to move it, which I think is out of the question probably. Disable device or use magic device.
Yep, and if you had to, you could resort to just destroying it. You don't know how that would go here.
Didn't you say we could potentially try to do like a UMD and then also have someone aid with like almost like doing a strength check at the same time?
Well, not aid, but they could attempt it, basically.
You could attempt either of those. In this particular situation, you think that it would be difficult to do the strength check to get good footing, but if you have some means of staying above the ground, then you could probably do it. But you think putting too much pressure on the ground beneath the shard might put your foot in something hot.
Would being able to fly be enough, or would you not be able to get firm footing that way?
As long as you're able to fly, I will just kind of hand wave it and say that you can exert enough force with either your wings or whatever, or either with picking up speed and momentum and just kind of grabbing it as you go to try to yank it. There are ways that you could try to make up for the lack of footing.
Airwalk would also sounds pretty helpful.
Airwalk is a potential option as well, yes. But it's either that or a use magic device.
Well, I can do use magic device or disable device. I could just try to take a 20 on disable device if you guys want. I doubt I can do it. But then worst case, I can always try as UMD.
I can aid you on use magic device if that's allowed.
Yeah, you can aid.
And as far as we know, there's no consequence to failure. You just don't succeed, really.
It speeds up the timer.
Yeah, right.
Like in the movies,
Immediately
when you
triggers
fail,
the spell.
yeah, when you fail, when you fail to defuse a bomb in a movie and it speeds up the timer, it's exactly what happens.
Yeah, this is actually a save or end the AP check.
Yes.
See.
No pressure.
If it comes down to it, there is the ability for me to buff up, and we can try to push it, because I could get angelic aspect, righteous might, maybe some bull strength, and Oran could go elemental again? Question mark, maybe.
Yeah, I could go elemental and bull strength. That'd be super strong.
Yep, because you get the size and the competence. It's separate, or enhancement, whatever it is.
Although I need to rest before we do that, because I can't use elemental body again till tomorrow.
So then let's try this for now and see how it goes.
Can you take a 20 on UMD, Jason?
No, generally not, because use magic device typically has fail conditions.
Right. I just didn't know if in this instance it was a little different, because you can do 20 on disabled device.
No.
Okay. Well.
You don't know if failure on this check would cause consequences.
So
or
can
not.
I take a 20 on disabled device or no? Not that either.
Maybe.
You are a fiend and a half.
Jessup, can you... So we just determined that your inspire competence does not work on yourself, does it?
No, but I can use it on others, obviously.
What's your UMD?
15.
Plus 15?
Yes.
Okay, mine's a plus 21. If you inspired me, I could try.
I can be super dirtbaggy, and I can use my omnipresent mentor to give you a bonus and still aid you. Like a total cheesy dirtbag.
Would that be any different than you performing and aiding at the same time?
Well, I mean, I guess it depends on... Not really. I guess it'd be the same thing. I guess it just depends on how long you think it's going to take to do it. Like, is it one check, or is it like it's one check, but it takes time to actually do it?
Oh, yeah. So you would know this. The checks attempting these take 10 rounds for each
Right,
attempt.
so that's where I would have to start my performance and drop, otherwise I do omnipresent, and then that's for the whole day.
Gotcha. Yeah. I could be really cheesy, and I could try to use magic device on something else, and if I failed, then my unshakable zeal.
But it's only on the same...
I know.
The same one. Yeah, so we will... So yeah, I'm going to use Omnipresent Mentor, then to give Kieran my Inspire Competence bonus, which I believe, again, is a +6.
Okay.
Yes, so Inspire Competence is a +6, and I'll give that to you in Use Magic Device, and then since my Use Magic Device is a 15, I will also aid you on subsequent checks.
Okay. So the first one, I don't have your aid, or I do?
No, because I give you Omnipresent Mentor as a, all right, Kieran, you could do this, just remember, and then I made it, because it's just me doing, just spending 4 rounds of performance to give that buff to you for the rest of the day until we rest.
All right, so then I have a +6 to this roll, whatever it is.
Oh, hold on. I might have some more dirtbaggy spells
okay.
here.
I'm here for it.
Yeah, I know you are. Hold on. Chill out. Unlike you guys, I still have spell slots.
I can cast resistance on myself.
If only I had been turned to stone the whole fight.
Okay. So, Kieran, do you have heroism?
I don't.
So I can give that to you, and that gives you a +2 morale bonus on attack rolls, saves, and skill checks.
Okay.
There's
I'm
another
listening.
+2.
I'm going to roll a natural 1, Brandon.
10 minutes per... I don't know what you want for... wait, hold on. Maybe I can fix that too. We'll see. Hold on. Wait, are we going to rest after this or not?
I don't know. We're going to have to rest. We're going to... because.
Oh, man, we're going... Brilliant inspiration. We're doing it all, baby. We're doing it all. All of the buffs.
Are we gonna rest? We're gonna rest. Then let's go.
We have never had an issue where we've wasted all of our spell slots and not have rested and continued on.
Yeah,
None.
so you're going to have to cast that one right before I do it, because that's rounds per level, right?
I mean, it would still give you a minute over.
It would. Also, if we choose to use your greater rod, could double the duration.
Oh, that's true. I do have a great
so
rod.
you would have it for 32 rounds?
Okay.
Yeah, so it'd be like 3 minutes.
Are any of those morale bonuses?
Yes.
Just, yep, my hero is a +2 morale. Unless you
And
got
we'll
something
give
better.
you moment of greatness.
Morale bonus. It doubles the morale bonus on one roller check. Wow.
Here's rolling. You can't. You rolled 2 nat ones, maybe. Maybe.
I'm gonna roll. Yeah.
All right, Sarah. I might have more, but I think I've
Got
cheesed about
one.
all I can squeeze out of Jessup for you. So.
Okay.
I had to get my 1 in there just so I could feel a part of this
So
scene.
I've given you a plus 10 with advantage.
Okay.
Yeah, so what we're looking at is we're looking at your roll plus 6 from Omnipresent Mentor, plus 2 from Aid, plus 4 from Heroism because of Moment of Greatness, and you're rolling twice and taking the better result because of Brilliant Inspiration.
Dude, I feel like this is Boulder Gate 3 nonsense.
this is them casting guidance on
I
literally
just see the dragons
every
over there
check.
shaking her head like, what if I said yes to?
Just give us a few moments.
Okay.
Of greatness. Oh.
Oh.
So my heroism does not have the additional for a moment of greatness, so it'll be effectively a +8 to
On top of what you roll.
yes, on top of what I
And
rolled.
those are all competence bonuses, right?
Wait, why only a +8?
Because there's a
She's got all the others programmed as buffs.
Sorry, +10 with your aid. Yeah.
Okay, yes.
Okay.
All right, that's what I was confused.
Yeah, I'm sorry, I forgot the aid. So +10 to this roll, but I get to roll twice and take the better.
Come
Here
on,
we
Sarah.
come,
Okay.
2 nat ones.
Ooh. Roll number 1
Nice.
is
Okay,
a 10.
nice.
So 33, so that'd be 43. Second roll is
Oof.
worse. A natural 2.
Ooh.
So we're looking at a 43 use magic device.
Wait, do I have any rerolls for you?
I guarantee you we needed it though too. It's gonna be like DC 42. You
45.
got it by 1 extra.
All right. So, Kieran, you and Jessup probably go up there since he's aiding you, and you brush away all of this stuff on the Nexus, and to the point where you can see the arrangement of crystals within. And you're looking at these, trying to make sense of how they interact with the position of the dais that the Nexus is floating on. And you kind of move one slightly, and the dais lurches, but doesn't quite move all the way. And you're just figuring out how this works. And a couple seconds go by while you're doing that, and Origibel is just kind of watching the whole exchange. And after maybe 20 seconds or so, all of you can hear her kind of murmur under her breath. It says, "It's almost like this shard is more mesmerizing to them than I am." Do you do anything upon hearing this? Any of you?
Kieran will speak up and say, on the contrary, actually, this shard is reflecting your appearance in it, and it magnifies your appearance, which is why we are so enraptured by it.
What she said, Jessup rolls to aid for diplomacy.
You go ahead and roll me a diplomacy,
Oh, great.
Oh, gosh. Wait, Kieran? Okay.
just to make sure.
Ugh.
Some of these buffs would technically count in a diplomacy, but Omnipresent Mentor would not. The Aid would not. Heroism would. Moment of Greatness would not, because it's only working on the 1 check. Brilliant Inspiration is...
Yep, it's just advantage.
And that's for anything within the time period, so you would roll twice.
Correct. And then if you allow an aid from Jessup.
Probably not.
Did you? Jessup winks.
Okay, so I get to roll with advantage.
And with a plus... And yeah, you've already got Heroism on. So
Yeah, I've got
that's
heroism
right
in here. So
yep.
it's just my diplomacy plus, or roll twice. Okay, first
Yep.
roll is a 38, and the
Good
second
job.
roll is a 36.
Good rolls.
18 and 16.
You look over your shoulder, and it looks like you have temporarily appeased Irigibel. You continue back on your work, and you're making progress here. It looks like the arrangement it's very complex, and it takes a little bit of time. You're like moving, there's like maybe a dozen or so of these gems in the core of this nexus that you're moving in slight different ways. And it's like those puzzle boxes. One can only move one way, but if it moves that way, the other one can't move. And it's like figuring this all out. You're making good progress. You're rearranging them, and you're about, almost done. It's been like 40, 50 seconds or so. You're almost there. And you can hear Origibel kind of moving over in this direction, like getting within your line of sight. Do you do anything?
Well, I think Jessup would speak up again to that. He'll just mention, Kieran to do fantastic. And he looks up the What's her name again? Sorry.
Irigibel the Illuminated.
Irigibel, we are almost finished here, and once we are done, we will rest, as we had mentioned, to regain our spells, so we can help you by reattaching the scales that were so wrongfully stolen from a beautiful, magnificent dragon.
Okay. Roll a diplomacy check.
Kieran winks at her.
39.
Oh boy.
You can see that, it seems that she is remaining calm, and she's kind of positioning herself in such a way that she is showing like all of her scales and their brilliance, but hiding like the gaps, so you can only see like her good side, and like studying your like reactions and so on. But you're able to respond in such a way that she is satisfied, and with that, with a 43, you are able to successfully solve the arrangement of this nexus. And as you move the last gem as it needs to be, the whole dais begins to crack and shift and rotate about 90 degrees. And you can immediately feel like you have the life bubble on, so you haven't been having to deal with the extreme hot temperatures of this cavern, but you can at least feel that it is hot. But as soon as the dais shifts, you can immediately feel it doesn't like immediately like get rid of all the heat, but the temperature drops rather significantly. Not to the point where you think that it's suddenly a safe place to be, but it's quite a bit like all these red spots you see on the map would kind of dim down into a more deeper gray and brown. And you have successfully realigned this nexus to its original position.
Kieran breathes a sigh of relief, but then he will turn his attention back to Irigibel and say, "Magnificent Irigibel the Illuminated, would you please regale us with tales of the foes that you have slain and how you have asserted your dominance upon those who have stood within your presence?"
She kind of tilts her head a little bit as if in thought and says, "Yes, well, I suppose now that your business is done, we will have some time before you will rest and finish your promise. I suppose I could say a story or two, perhaps." And with that, would the goal at this point be for you all to essentially go right into a rest here, like in the cavern then?
How long does life bubble last for?
It is 2 hours per level, but it's split amongst the 4 of us. So it's 32 hours? No, I'm only 13th level. 26 hours divided by 4. But I have another spell slot, so I can cast it again if we get close to the duration.
Would Tiny Hut work as well? Because I know it helps with the temperature. I just don't know if it would mess up anything else.
It shouldn't. So yeah, it goes up to temperatures of... If the exterior temperature is between 0 and 100, if the exterior temperature is below, it raises it by
more
1 by 1.
I don't know if it's more than 100 degrees or not. I don't know.
The heat rules give you 3 sections, and I just want to remember the exact temperatures that they give, because they do give exact temperatures.
It's only 80, guys. Oh, thank goodness. Celsius. Oh, no.
It is no longer severe or extreme heat, which is over 140 degrees. It would have fallen down into the severe heat. So it's still above 110 degrees, but it looked like that spell basically says that it lowers or raises the temperature on a 1-to-1 basis to be close to what that is. So the inside of the hut would probably still be like 90 degrees. So it would still be pretty warm in there, but it would not be like to the point that you'd have to worry about anything.
Well, I mean, I guess I don't want to do anything to piss her off, so I guess whatever makes more sense. And I could even keep watch on all of us if we wanted, just to make sure we're all awake and able to give her and provide our undivided attention.
Yeah, we don't want her killing us in our sleep.
I really, I'd rather, honestly, than in full combat, just kill me, just grab me, please. But, yeah.
Yeah.
I don't want to have her fall asleep and be like, they're not paying attention to me.
Right.
Ah, women. Ah.
Yeah. Okay. Oh, boy.
Hey, there's no women in this party. You can see that.
Whoa.
All right. So, yeah, if you wanted, you could do keep watch. And at that point, your party in general, you've got at least 2, if not 3 or 4. Oran's probably not the most diplomatic, but I think Gideon is Gideon, what do you have a decent diplomacy?
Yes, I do. I have a 19 right now.
Okay, Oran, what is yours? I think it's lower than the others, but
It is a 7. Okay.
yeah, I thought
That's
terrible,
not
so-
horrible. It's not
terrible.
negative.
No.
Yeah. So your party in general is diplomatic enough that, with Keep Watch, you could keep her appeased for as long as you really need. It would be a taxing experience trying to handle the volatile emotions of a dragon. But I don't know why you're rolling to use magic devices.
For the Keep Watch.
Oh,
But-
for the Keep Watch. Okay.
Also, Kieran can cast it because it's on his spell list if you...
Oh, that's true. So I guess I would have just given that to Kieran. So we have 8 charges left, by the way, gents.
Okay.
So yeah, with that, you are able to pass the night, making sure to, at regular intervals, mention how beautiful or magnificent or fantastic Irigible is. And the hours go by, and it's kind of interesting because you feel like you are always in a precarious position being right next to this dragon who could at any time, like at the drop of a hat, just like go wild. But at the same time, you're also in like the most safe position because as long as she's on your side, like what's going to get in here and like cause issues for you. So it's kind of an interesting little dichotomy there. But eventually you guys do pass the time that would be required for a rest to occur, and you are able to start re-preparing your spells and getting ready for the following day. And Oran forgets to prepare regenerate, and she gets really angry, and we have to do combat.
Okay.
All right, that's fair. Understands.
Be weird if I didn't.
Let me roll initiative real quick.
That would be funny though, if like you're preparing all your spells, and then you're like, okay, so you cast regenerate, and you're just like, oh, I forgot about that. That'd be funny. I would find that very funny.
I just had to look it up just for funsies. But when Jason, you were describing that, I feel like the plover bird, which is the one that flies into a crocodile's mouth to help clean it, in that situation where we're safe because it likes us, but at any moment you're like, oh man, that thing is just one chop done.
Yeah.
Yeah. I will say there is a particularly fun tactic that the book suggests Irigible using if combat does occur. And it essentially amounts to her casting rock to mud on the floor of the cavern.
Oh,
and
no.
Oh, no.
plunging all of you into a lake of lava.
Well, no, because Kieran's flying.
I would also fly.
Those of you flying, yes. Those of you not flying would suddenly find yourselves in 20d6 fire damage every round.
So it would be like the worst situation that we fought against that shaitan. So not only are you stuck, now you're burning to death.
In fact, it goes beyond that. I'm looking at the stats here now. Says that so those who fail to take note of her cunning majesty or power during their replies, she gets angry. If enough rounds pass, she attacks, and in combat, her favorite tactic is use stone shape and transmute rock to mud to shatter the stone floor so that everybody falls under the lava, and then do wall of stone to seal them underneath.
Oh no.
Oh my gosh.
Listen to how giddy this monster is.
It would have been so much fun. See, I was worried that you guys would get into combat and I'd have to do that, and then there would be like a PC death with no body, and I'd be like, well, what to do about that?
I would roll, because we all know Jessup would have died. I would have been the first level 16 patch there. I'd be so jacked. I'd be like Arnold Schwarzenegger, but like a tiny sized creature with a pickaxe, and that's what I would roll. That's what I would do.
He's like, I heard you were trying to save Earth. Well, I'm here to help. I love Golarion. I traveled there in my youth. That was 1,488 years ago. I wonder if it's changed very much since I was last there. That'd be
Yeah.
a fun character.
But yeah, that would have been a nasty fight. Like you're doing all of that on top of fighting like a dragon, a CR-17 dragon with 39 AC, 310 hit points.
Were you worried we were going to fail checks?
It was a possibility. It's just that you guys are really good at diplomacy, so all of your rolls were like 30, 35 or higher. But yeah, the book basically says if as many as like 2 rounds go by without somebody complimenting her, she starts getting angry.
I found it crazy how quickly Sarah, I think you had Kieran, played a flattery. It was like choice number 1.
Well, and I think he just knows how dragons operate.
No, that wasn't a dig. That was great. I love it.
Oh yeah, that's why he works out in front of us and pours water on himself after a workout. So, okay, guys, do these
Hey, look at that.
abs look cutter than yesterday?
More shredded? Do I look more shredded than last week?
He waits for the morning temperature to be really cold. It puts hot water and then it's like steaming muscles. It's like, have you noticed? Wow, this is crazy. This is just the earth around me.
Every morning he's like, should we go this way or
Yeah.
that way?
Yeah, so we wake. Yes. Oh, Kieran. By the way, is that an 8-pack you're rocking today?
And he's like,
wow,
oh,
Kieran.
only 8? I'm working for 10.
Praise Milani for men like you.
Milani, is there anyone else more shredded than Kieran? Unclear.
Iomade, have you ever seen someone? No, see they
All right. Yes, you are able to regain all of your spells and so on. And Oran.
Hey, I hate to be this guy, but do you have 5,000 GP lying around by any chance, anyone? I would like a greater restoration, but if it is not feasible, then it
I mean, I have 5,000 gold, but I don't think that's going to help you.
No, and we can't turn the mismatched diamond, the mismatched rubies and emeralds and other stuff. We can't, transmute that to
idea.
diamond.
No, idea. If we have sand, we can make diamonds in this place. We just need like heat and pressure, right? Just bury some sand and we'll get a diamond.
I don't think that's how that
Kieran, just pour sand on your abs and do crunches and you make diamonds.
Yeah.
The pressure. You great.
What it is.
Yes.
That's how Kieran casts transmutation spells. He just crunches.
Pressure produces change. I think that in a magic world, that should make sense, Jace. Else, what are those diamonds going to do for us?
I don't think so.
I tried, guys.
I mean, I think you guys do have diamonds. Or
I have
diamond dust.
4,000 diamond dust.
4,000. Yeah, it's okay. I'll go without. It's fine.
I have 4,000 diamond dust.
He wants to waste that on a restoration, and then one of us dies, and we're like, "Oh, that's too bad. At least I don't have negative levels, guys."
No, it's just that I'm good. I have an amount of diamond dust that I will need to use for something later. So. It's okay.
So you want us to use our diamond dust to help you, but then you have your own you're keeping for your own selfish reasons.
That's why I backed down and said I didn't need it. I'll just go without.
Yeah.
Would a greater restoration get rid of all your negative levels?
Yeah, it would.
Ooh.
I do have a diamond as well.
I also have a diamond.
So you've got 8,000 diamond dust, 2 diamonds, and then all the stuff that Gideon's hoarding.
Jessup has some too. I'm trying to see where it was on my sheet.
It's gonna get to like the final fight, and Gideon's gonna be like, "I bring out my diamond dust and I cast." And it's gonna be some like stupid spell.
Yeah.
That doesn't do anything.
Well, we are gonna need it. We also need it for raised deads, or if
The diamonds you need for raised deads. Yeah, diamond dust doesn't help with raised dead.
Correct.
Yeah, Jessup has 1 diamond.
Oh, you've got 3 diamonds then.
Yeah, so we have enough to do it.
Yeah, it's up to y'all. I just wanted to let you know that I am still suffering that condition.
Okay,
but that's
we
all.
we will do it on the condition Gideon has to tell us what he's saving his for.
A miracle.
Okay.
Okay, interesting. Yeah, I can give some. I just want to keep some because I have to have 1,000 for each cast of Stoneskin Communal. So.
Yeah, I mean, I'll use the full 4,000 that I have.
Okay, I'll give you 1,000 of mine.
I love how dismissive everybody was of that. He's like, as long as he tells us what it is, and Gideon's just like, a miracle. And they're like, oh, okay.
I just wanted to know. He answered.
They're like, is that all? Okay.
Wait.
I'm gonna
Hold
sense
up.
motive it.
But how the heck is he gonna? How is he gonna cast Miracle? That's a 9th level spell.
He's got
Yep.
a runestone
is.
power.
Sure
That's
is.
6th level spells. You only go up to 6th level. Something's
Yeah, he
fishy,
sucks.
boys. Kieran's just about ready to hand over his diamond dust,
Yeah,
and he's like,
yeah.
on the
Something
other
right.
hand, now that I'm thinking about this,
I smell a rat.
Also, not for nothing, I'm going to have to use up 2 of my level 7 spells to heal the dragon and to heal Gideon.
Oh my gosh.
Well, you are a healer.
Oh, this
Yeah.
is lies. Let me play
Don't
my
forget to
character.
slot a healer 2 in there while you're at it.
Yeah.
Okay, so yes, Oran, you are able to prep your spells and cast Regenerate on Irigibel, and over the course of, I think it takes like a minute or 2 or maybe 10 minutes for Regenerate to occur, but you can see slowly these scales begin to grow back into place, and after a little bit of time, her visage is now flawless, and it glitters and everything is perfect, and you can see that she is very happy about this course of events, and she says, I am very grateful for your service. In fact, she flies over to her hoard, and she comes back, and she drops 3 scales on the ground in front of all of you, and she says, as these have been replaced, I no longer have use of the originals. I'll gift them to you. And you can see that there's a bright yellow, a bright orange, and a bright red glittering dragon scale.
Ooh, now Kieran's intrigued.
Nice back scratchers.
Yeah, what do they,
No,
what do they
don't
do?
do that.
Do they do anything?
She immediately attacks.
If they don't have any like magical use, I can use them as
For your spell
for
component.
my spell. Oh my gosh.
Who's that? What's going
Sorry.
on over here?
Is this somebody's
My
spice
phone.
food going off?
My phone just made
Do you
noise,
do you
sorry.
have a woman with you right now, Josh?
I
Is
don't
there a lady? Is there a lady with you right now?
No, not presently, no.
I'm not sure what. Okay.
So my dragon's breath spell requires a dragon scale as a material component. So I could now, instead of casting just poison stuff, or not poison, acid stuff, I could cast potentially lava.
No, Sarah, it is prismatic sprays. That's all it does.
Oh,
because
that
of
would be
how-
awesome.
So, I would allow you to use any of these scales as a focus component for any fire spell that has a focus component. And so, like, you could use a breath to use fire with these. However, they do have a secondary effect that you would be able to identify after the fact with either a spellcraft or a detect magic.
I don't think we would do that right now, right in front of her. I think
Yeah,
we will.
I know. But you would eventually, after you leave, maybe take a look at them, and you would see that each of these 3 can be used as a one-time material component for any fire spell. And the yellow one, if used as a material component, and again, the fire spell doesn't have to require material components, these are just added into it. So like you could do like a burning hands spell. So the yellow one, if you use that with a fire spell, it quickens that spell as if you were using like a quicken rod. The orange one empowers it. The red one maximizes it. So they are each one-time use. They can basically empower a fire spell, but once they are used for that purpose, they're gone. If you use them as just like a regular focus component, then you're good. Don't worry about it. But if you get the actual like meta magic effect from them, they are consumed by the spell.
Can Kieran use all 3 all 3 at the same time?
One at a time.
Oh.
Oh.
Why are you a stinker about everything?
I'd take one of them there scales.
We shall decide at a better time to marvel over these gifts.
You guys were able to successfully align this nexus, so that increased you from your, for the sake of ease, we'll just go by days rather than by hours. So from your 1 day to having it 2 days. And again, this will double every time. So the next nexus, you'll have 4 days total, and then the one after that, you'll have 8 days total. But you're now eating into that 8th day at the moment. So, but if you get both of the other nexuses by today, you'll have the rest of today and 7 days after, essentially, is how that works.
See, this was easy, guys. This will be fine. We're going to be fine. This is totally like...
We're buying time for the end. We are not. It's not easy.
That nexus was no challenge at all. The other 2 will be just like that, I'm sure.
I just don't know who would have come up here and tampered with that and not been attacked by the dragon.
Hard to say.
I mean, I can guess, but All
Yeah.
right, so how are we going to depart?
I don't know if we should. Oh no, we already rested, so we're good to go.
Let's just rest again.
Yeah,
Cast 2 spells, rest again.
yeah.
Do we want to teleport toward one, but like maybe not exactly on it, Kieran, like off to the side, and then just have us maybe walk to it?
Yeah, because I can't see those other ones, so it's not going to be the same. We'd have to almost like teleport back to the sand if we wanted a better chance of getting there without issue.
What do you mean?
Because I'm not seeing the location of those other nexuses.
Yeah, both of those you've seen once at this point.
Yeah, so my percent chance with the teleport is not as good as it was with this one because I actually had the sand showing me exactly where I was going.
I see what you're doing. Okay.
To be fair, the sand place you've seen only a little bit better than once. So
Yeah, so even getting back to the sand place would be hard, wouldn't it?
via teleport, yeah, it might be a little bit easier, but I think there's only like a couple percent chances between the two differences.
I mean, in theory, we can figure out where we ended up, and it can only be so bad.
I thought that, and I ended up in Night All, so...
You weren't there. Don't act like it was a traumatic experience. You
It
said hi
could've
and
been,
bye.
man. They were like, "Hails on Kuthan," and I was like, "I love pain, thanks." Got another scroll and got out of there.
Yeah, I'm pain god. Real into that. Yeah. Yeah.
And Josh,
I
to answer your
too.
question, these other 3 circles are other nexuses that just weren't aligned for these purposes.
Let's go to one of them for fun. I want
Okay.
to. That area in particular looks really cool to me. I just like the geographical location.
Okay, what's the vote for next location? We've got the quarry type place, or I forget the third one.
The hill next to the Silver River.
Oh, the Silver River. That sounds beautiful. Silver River sounds pleasant.
I'd like to see it during the golden hours, so we should go to the quarry first.
Okay.
Golden hours at like sunset, sunrise.
Sunset. Yeah, sunset.
There's no sun in the vault.
Sure. Is there a day-night cycle, or is it just always bright?
Always daytime, essentially.
Oh my goodness.
Oh, that's not good for you.
That's awful.
I mean, the people who live here are used to it. That's a tourist's problem.
Yeah. I suppose I'm being a little, Galarian-centric in my worldview here. Even worldview, it should be, interplanetary view? I'm sorry.
Planets. This is a plane, good sir.
Well, yeah, planetary. Yeah. Yeah.
So, question. If you
Yeah.
have dark vision,
Yeah.
if you close your eyes, do you just see the inside of your eyelids?
No, because your eyes wouldn't be able to focus on something that close, probably.
You think?
I think you could see, like, gray, your blood vessels moving.
Oh
Jessup
man, that would
has
be
to
awful.
sleep face down.
He has a mask. He wears a sleeping mask.
Sleep mask.
Well, in that case, I don't care where we go. The quarry is easy to access, so we should just only bear that in mind in the smallest. Otherwise, I don't think there was any significant difference. None of them stood out to our characters as a better option over the other for any particular reason. Did
Yeah,
they?
not for me. It's
No?
the same percent chance to get to either one of them, so I'd say we can do the quarry and then look at your Silver River with the same brightness that we would if we had gone there first.
As long as you get us somewhere.
All right, we will hold hands and teleport, and let's hope this doesn't go poorly. 63.
63.
Oof.
And you were going to the quarry, you said?
Yes, the quarry.
All right. So let me move you over to that map.
Is this another beautiful mid-journey map?
It might be. It's possible. Voila.
Wow.
Wow.
It's like 3D, man.
Yeah, so you guys teleport in and you find yourselves at the edge of this quarry. And now that you're here in person and seeing it in color, you can actually see that there are crystals sparkling all over the place off of the cavern walls of this quarry. And they're like it's like a blue-white forest of crystal formations really around you. And they're creating this kaleidoscope of colors. It's a theme that you're noticing in this vault. There are colors all over the place, reflecting light and everything. There's on the dragon, on the ceiling of this place in the quarry. This is a very colorful landscape that you've come to. And you can actually see on the walls of some of these corridors that this quarry kind of goes down to get to the base of it, there are a collection of paintings that depict squat, like 3-armed beasts polishing gemstones that are floating in the air somewhat. And you can see as you look down into the quarry, there is a large circular dais similar to the one that you've just been to at the quarry's center. This one's rather large. It's about 30 feet across. This one's a very large dais compared to the other one was. And it supports a standing circle of stones and glittering crystals, which look not unlike the ones you just worked on. If anybody would like, you can roll a knowledge planes on the paintings.
I'll assist Jessup.
Yeah, actually, when we just teleport in, Jessup is going to cast some spells on himself real quick, if he may.
Okay.
I'll roll to help Jessup.
I have planes. I will aid.
Okay. You can roll it.
I will try to aid.
I don't.
I will aid.
Okay. Yeah, Gideon does not aid with a 9, but Oran with a 22 will aid.
I'm going to roll. I don't auto aid. I'm going to roll, though. I just wanted to cast heightened awareness from the wand first. That's cheese. All right. 19, so I do aid.
Okay, so +4 to my advantage roll. 36 or 33. 36 it is.
All right. With that, you are able to quite comfortably identify these paintings as depictions of 3-legged creatures known as Zorns.
Interesting. Sounds sci-fi.
Do we know what Zorns are?
Yeah, so Zorns, in fact, you saw the essentially the calcified body of a Zorn in the archives earlier before you fought the Clockwork Angel.
Which reminded us of the other one we saw way back when. Is that right?
No, so the thing you saw in Misttome was a Vault Keeper, not a Zorn.
Gotcha. Oh, that's
Way more ancient creature.
right. That's crazier.
Yeah, that kind of peeling by the curtain a little bit. Misttome was essentially the tomb of a Vault Keeper. So,
What was it doing on the material plane?
who knows? However, I guess I'll just tell you. If I'm peeling the curtain back, I can just peel the curtain back. It was a disgraced one, so it was cast out. So it was sent to the material plane, eons past, as kind of an outcast. And fun fact, when Vault Keepers and Vault Builders, they don't really die. They sort of calcify into a core, which can then be used to create a new one. Just
Is that what Veld was doing?
No, she's Veld is old and knowledgeable, but she's not that old or that knowledgeable. She was probably studying it, but in order to actually do that process, you would need some mythic power, and she did not have mythic power.
That'd have been a crazy sleeper agent, though. Could you imagine?
Yeah. So Zorns, you would be able to identify. They're planar creatures. They're typically neutral, aligned. And they're found on like the plane of Earth. They're squat little beasts that are they're like little squares. They're as wide as they are tall. And they're strangely symmetrical. They have 3 arms, 3 legs, 3 eyes, and then 1 huge mouth. And I guess you could, do you have like 2 pieces of information you want to know about Zorns?
Oh, that's right. I talked to Sarah about that. Yeah, first question. Do they have any capability of being able to perform petrification? It's a standard question from now on. No, actually, just kidding. Yeah, I guess we'll go with defenses.
Okay. They do have a DR. They're immune to cold, fire, and flanking because they have all-around vision, and they are resistant to electricity.
Gotcha. And did you say you already gave their alignment? I'm just more curious.
Yeah, they're neutral outsiders.
Gotcha. Anything else that you would like to glean off of this? I'm trying to remember.
Nothing from me, I don't think.
Okay, well, since you speak for the rest of the party, I will just say any special abilities.
You know that Zorns, they do have the Earth Glide ability, which means that they can basically burrow into the Earth, leaving no sign of their passage, and they basically just meld into it and come out basically as easily as fish swim through water. So they are very much at one with the Earth around them. That's about it for special abilities, really.
Okie dokie, I think that's it.
I imagine you guys would begin walking down the path towards the base of the quarry where the dais is. You can see that this is like it appeared to be on the sands. It is an abandoned quarry. You can see signs of buildings that might have once been here. You can see it's probably been thousands of years since this place was well maintained. There might be a couple more recent tools that might be petch sized. You think that maybe on occasion they'll come by here and maybe gather a few things, but for the most part it looks like this quarry has been run dry. It's got crystals all over the place, but it appears that those were not what were being mined out of the quarry.
Crystals like diamonds?
No, unfortunately not. There's not a limitless supply of diamonds here. That would be funny though.
Okay.
But yeah, so you guys make it down here to near the bottom where the dais is floating. And as you do, you all feel the earth begin to rumble and shake around you. As popping up out of the stone are some creatures with 3 arms, 3 legs, and 3 eyes. They stand at the top of the quarry looking down around you, and then one pops up right in front of you. And this one is quite a bit larger than the others.
Oh, good golly, Miss Molly, what in the world is that?
Yep. So you can see this 3-armed, 3-legged creature.
Oh, I don't like this thing.
He eats gold.
Yeah, he's bedazzled in a silken robe and a golden belt, which is a very, very magical belt, you'll notice. And he kind of sprouts up, and you can see his eyes are kind of like blinking as if he just woke up. He's kind of like lazily looking over you, and he says, "What business do you have in Zorn territory?"
Language?
He... I just think of the Avengers where he's like, language. So he is speaking in Terran.
Okay.
Oh,
Great.
Kieran steps back.
Y'all have fun.
Oran, you're up.
Jessup be like, I talked too much to the dragon. How about you talk to your
people.
friends?
maybe turn in.
Oran immediately polymorphs into one of those.
As you guys kind of discuss amongst yourselves who can understand what he's saying, he says, "I can speak common as well."
Oh, that's really oddly convenient.
Oran, stand back.
What, my 7 diplomacy ain't good enough for you? Huh? Now I'm trash?
Not when they speak common.
It's fair. It's a fair point.
Okay, but why do they speak common? I mean, put that in. Why do they speak Chaldane? Like, why? That's...
Is there a reason why we shouldn't speak common?
No, it's just... Never mind.
Gideon's racist.
No.
Jessup nudges Oran forward. Speak.
Oh. We weren't really familiar that this was Zorn territory. We're looking for a specific device around here. Have you seen such a thing?
Oh, you mean the giant dais right over there?
If I look over at the giant dais, is it the same?
It's
type?
hovering right above this green spot.
It's the
right
same
next to you.
thing. Okay.
Yeah, it's the same one as before. It's just a bit bigger.
Oh yeah. That's precisely what I'm looking for. Yeah. You know anything about it?
Yes, the snaky lass came by some while ago to fiddle around with it, and we were too tired to bother with her, so we just left her be, and she asked us to keep watch over it and make sure others didn't mess with it, and we agreed.
Did she pay you for this service?
No.
Would you be open to some pay to look the other way and let me tinker around with it?
I suppose that would be easier than fighting.
Agreed. How much would you want?
What do you have? Do you have gems and metals?
I do, actually, as it stands. I have a pretty good amount of gems. And,
show us.
And Oran will wave over to Kieran and be like, hey, I need the gems that we have.
Kieran's like, oh, thank goodness we didn't give those to the
I was
dragon.
just thinking
To the dragon.
Jason should have been mean and be like, yes, I will take them too.
I was tempted. I cut you some slack there, but
I was just doing my best.
So Oran will take the gems from Kieran, and
Yes.
would this be enough to help you look the other way?
how many gems do you got there?
10,000 gems worth?
That's a lot of that's a lot of
He
gems.
says,
Yeah.
I suppose this would work for one of us.
Oh boy.
Oh, and there's how many? 4 of them?
There's 4 in total.
Oh boy.
We'll take precious metals as well.
How precious is platinum?
I mean gold. I mean platinum and gold is precious,
Yeah.
so we could
That's true.
pay.
Might I sample one?
Sample? Can I sample a platinum coin?
Yep, Jessup will step forward and pull out his satchel, and he'll hand him a gold coin.
He grabs it with one of his arms, and he just like exactly like in this image, he just drops the coin into his mouth as he looks straight up. And you can hear him like chewing on this gold coin. He's just like, it's a bit bitter, but the older Zorns might like that flavor.
Well, here, what do you think about this one? And I'll pull out and toss platinum.
He'll eat a platinum and be like, not bad. This one is more suitable to my taste. Either of these would probably do.
Okay, here's a question. Is iron acceptable? It's a metal. It's a
Precious metal.
No, it would do, but we'd prefer something a little bit better than that. It's not very nutritious.
Because I've got an iron unholy symbol of Droskar and Nyarlathotep. I have a gold unholy symbol of Hadragash. I'll give them that gold unholy symbol. I don't think
How much
they
is
care.
that worth?
100 gold.
Okay.
Yeah, I think we need, what, 30,000 is what you're saying?
I'd give him 37 more platinum pieces. That's kind of like a 40-piece McNugget, just 3 short. It's McPlat.
So that's
McFlat.
like with the symbol that's like functionally 470. Okay. We're
Okay.
getting there.
I have a
close.
Periapt of Wound Closure, which is
Okay.
an amulet. It's
Okay.
worth 15,000 gold. It says this stone is bright blue and dangles on a silver chain meant to be worn on the neck. So silver stone-ish. 15,000.
Well, I can accept that.
I love
Just for-
these guys.
Just for you guys, this is what Jason sounds like first thing in the morning.
He kind of looks up to the one of the guys up here and says, well, what do you think? You think that one would be good? And the response was just nods, which is odd because they don't really have a neck. You could just see like his whole torso begin
kinda
shifting up
bends.
and down.
Jessup would chime in and, well, we do have a assortment of knickknacks and trinkets, as you've seen. I think that it could be worth something, especially if you maybe only get to try it once in your life. It must be worth something.
Ooh, like what?
Well, it's sometimes you can't put a price on things. It's considered priceless.
No, but you can on flavor.
You can put a price on flavor.
Like, was this the Guy Fieri of this world? Like, welcome to Flavor Town. We're more like it's.
I really want the one in the back to start sounding like
Flavor Town.
Chef Ramsay over there.
Right. What are you? An idiot sandwich?
You can put a price on flavor.
I want to say that next time somebody says to me something's priceless. I'll be like, but you can put a price on flavor.
You can put a price.
So all I have to say is book 6 has been ruthless. First, we have to fork over thousands of gold to the stupid dwarf guy.
You can fight them. There's nothing stopping you from fighting all these encounters.
Why? We were buying our way out of combat.
So we have sorry, we have 10,000 for the gems, 15,000 for the, what did I just give him? The amulet thing, the periapt.
Wound closer, yep.
Yep. So it's 25,000. So I can also give up, well, I feel like I'm giving up everything. I could give up my minor.
Have the bag of holding. So.
Yeah.
Right? I'm giving up all the things here, guys.
You can't.
Kieran pulls things out of the bag of holding that's the party's inventory.
I mean, I'm here for it.
Well, you have to admit, though, he's follower of Abadar, so it stings him every time.
Every time.
Jessup has some gold that he can donate if you need him to cover a difference.
Oran's got nothing.
Well, I can personally give up my minor ring of energy resistance for acid. It's 12,000.
I mean, I literally just have gold. I don't really have any items.
I wouldn't be opposed to giving up my ring of minor energy gold. It never comes up ever. I got to use it one time in this entire campaign. I've had it for 3 books and it came up one time.
I think Jessup does have, if we don't need, I'm trying to find it. I thought I had my ring of feather falling.
It's probably 12,000. If mine's 12, I think if yours is just cold, it should be the same.
I have an old ring of protection +3 I don't need because the Kragadan ring is one of them. Yeah.
Yeah. Is
So-
there anything special? Like, is that ring made out of gold or silver? Like, do you know where you picked that up?
I think I bought it.
Oh, it's probably a regular old ring then.
Oh, surely it would have to at least be made of gold, yeah?
It's made out of copper and tin.
It's just
All right,
wood.
let's... All right. I found the item description, and it provides some beneficial help. This ring offers continual magic protection, so that's not so great, but we're not done there. Now we can go to the feats. Forge magic ring. To craft a ring, you must use up... it's not helpful either.
Okay, here. So the physical description of rings. Rings have no appreciable weight, although exceptions exist that are crafted from glass or bone. The vast majority of rings are forged from metal, usually precious metals such as gold, silver, and platinum.
Yeah, we got there.
We did it.
Pathfinder to have needlessly specific solutions to questions.
Yup.
Someone would just make it up at 90% of tables. I also think in Pathfinder, we're the weird ones that go, I don't know, what are rings made of? Is it a reasonable assumption that it's gold? Maybe. But what do the rules say?
Yes, you could just make it up on the spot in D&D, but like you can't deny how fun it is to find an answer like that in pre-made rules.
There is something about my inner lawyer fantasy that's like, yes, see, according to this file right here, the document in my hand.
Well, according
the
to
gods of this
precedent,
world say it establishes precedent that is most likely, and we can extrapolate from there.
So, yeah, any of those will work, whatever combination of which is most optimal.
We have to use all of them, unfortunately, because that brings the total to 49,000, with the cheapest thing being 10,000. So we could keep all of the gemstones, which are functionally worthless, and supplement with like 1,000 worth of gold. But otherwise, I think we're kind of stuck.
Could you save one of the items and then use the gems instead? Because it's 10k of gems, 15k for the amulet. You'd only need another 15,000. So one ring would be...
Yeah, so if we did one ring, we could get to 37,000 and we'd have to supplement with gold. The party inventory has 2,200 gold, so...
I gave away that 38 platinum, so that's another 380.
Yeah.
And also, the +3 ring is 18,000.
Oh.
Oh, we were doing your ring. Oh, I thought we were using mine and Oran's ring.
Yeah, if you use that ring instead, then...
Yeah, it's literally just been dead weight on my sheet. I was going to sell it, but we never go to cities, Jason. So...
You were in a pretty big city.
You were in Kragadan.
I will remind you, at the beginning of this book, Kieran made a trip to Kragadan to sell loot. If you didn't tell him, he didn't sell it.
Well, good. Now we needed it, so it was all on purpose.
So, all right.
Milani's plan.
So the periapt of wound closure is 15,000.
15.
Gideon's ring is 18,000. The gems are 10,000, so that's enough with those 3 items.
So you offer all of those, and he says, Well, I suppose that'll work. We Zorns are ever watchful over the earth, but if the wind were to come by and move the dais, that would be none of our business. Wink, wink.
I like the sounds of that.
Wink, wink. It doesn't have eyelids, but wink, wink.
No, he just says
it
wink,
does.
wink.
Yeah.
This guy moves up to you and like his one eye he brings right up to your face and just blinks right in your
No.
face. You see there in the image, just
Yeah.
blinks right in your
Just
face.
blinks in your face. I like it.
I don't.
And then he says, "Oh well then, goodbye.
Goodbye.
We're going back to sleep."
Okay.
That's a mood.
Yeah, so it specifically says that he is his if you give him a bribe, he's lazy enough that he won't bother with you.
Oh, how's that for 7 diplomacy, Jessup?
Maybe we would have had to shell out less loot.
Yeah.
I didn't say anything.
You know what? Solve that in 30 words. Let's see you do that with the dragon again. Let's go.
I'm not casting haste on you anymore.
I don't care.
Oh, man. Is this where we break up? Are we breaking up right now?
Yes.
Wait, the breaking up of the fellowship part 2?
Over
Book 6?
over Oran's 7 diplomacy.
Yeah.
I do have to say that exchange was very like freshman of high school, first time dorm room. I don't care about you.
I was thinking like an old married couple, but
Yeah.
Yeah, that's also true. All right, here we go again.
Burn all the spells again? Is
Yeah,
that what we're
right.
doing?
Yeah,
Buff them up.
you did get the spells back, so yeah.
yeah.
Well, we're gonna have to do it again in theory.
My base roll for use magic device is a 21.
Well, I mean,
So.
might as well.
Yeah, it doesn't hurt. I think I'm gonna save my brilliant inspiration because we'll just go ham with it. So, but I'm still gonna do omnipresent mentor and hero.
Okay, I was gonna say because Gideon's is useless unless you give me heroism.
Well, I could have given you good hope if you didn't want to expend hero. Why don't you use the rod on hero though? That should last long enough if you do.
I mean, it most definitely will anyway.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Because it'd be, so 160 minutes without extending is like 2.5 hours.
That should still be enough for us to get to the next nexus.
And then we
Maybe.
fight for an hour.
Could be. Right, so this time you've basically got the same buffs, but you're not rolling with advantage.
Unless Kieran wants advantage. If you do, I'll give it to you. But if you don't,
No, I'm good. So, what was the other spell you were casting? Brilliant inspiration, or you were saving? That's the one you're saving.
That's the one he's saving, yeah.
Okay, so
I'll give you guidance.
Guidance only works for one round, though.
right.
Oh, okay. I'll just keep doing it.
We'll alternate. We'll alternate.
just
I'll stand
keep it up
by.
all day.
Guidance.
Okay, so there's another thing that the +6, is that what I'm getting to?
Yeah, omnipresent mentor plus
Yep.
6.
so you're getting the +6. So you're getting all the. I think you're still getting a +10. You're just not rolling with advantage.
Okay.
Yeah.
+10, not advantage. All right, good deal. So here we go. And 33.
Right, same as before.
So 43.
All right. With a 43, same as before, it takes you about a minute or so, but you've done this before, and the orientation it's the same movements, but you're doing them in a different orientation because of how it's aligned. It's pointing a different direction, so you're having to move to the other side of the nexus, and you're trying to move them in the same way, just on the other side of it. And you don't this time have to worry about, appeasing a potentially very threatening creature next to you. So you're able to take your time and focus on it, and you are within a minute pretty comfortably able to realign this nexus. It also shifts 90 degrees, and as it does, you can see that the light within this quarry almost doubles as the crystals begin shining even brighter than before. It's a little bit blinding for Jessup. It probably is actually blinding, given that he is a drow. But other than that, it seems like you are successful.
Huzzah!
Thank
Yay,
goodness.
guys. Okay, how difficult of a fight would they have been, Jason?
So,
tough.
according to the book, only the main guy would have attacked you. The other 3 are just regular old Zorns, so they're only like CR6. But the main guy is a Zorn, and he is a level 12 druid.
Oh, interesting.
So he would have he had stuff like Mass Bull Strength, Stone Skin, Move Earth, Call Lightning Storm. So the tactic that this book says is that he sinks into the ground with his Earth Glide, and then he just casts Call Lightning Storm and just starts hitting you with lightning bolts while you can't touch him because he's in the earth. Yeah.
Huh. Good thing I've got 5 electricity resistance.
Yeah.
This book's full of cheese.
It's only after all his lightning bolts go by that he comes back out to hit you.
Brandon, you're not wrong. 3 encounters, and they all have serious crowd control as the theme.
The book writers are just like, oh, hey, so if your PCs decide to fight these otherwise innocent people, just kill them, murder them ruthlessly.
I bet this next encounter is going to be like grease and like a greater grease and then fireball on the grease so you burn while you're slipping in the grease.
Yeah, I mean, Iron Fang, one thing I really like about Iron Fang is that it definitely has way more tactical variety with the encounters than some of the earlier APs.
You don't have to go pointing fingers, all right? I'm offended.
It was not at you. It was not.
That was
No,
clearly
it was at the writers.
clearly.
Because these tactics are written into the AP.
Right.
So,
I mean, this also is assumed that you've played through all the other APs already, whereas Runelords was kind of like, this is your first time playing Pathfinder.
Well, and also they only had the core rulebook, so they didn't have extra spells and new stuff to build
True
with,
that.
So yeah, you guys are able to get that second nexus. Let me move you back up to the vault map and get rid of that flow of magic.
We're doing great. I just want to point that out.
We're doing great. We're doing a real good job.
This means this last one's gonna suck.
No. I think it's not this one. I think it's when we finally go here, we are in for a day.
Yeah.
It's going to be bad. It's going to be bad.
A week, even.
Okay.
So now we
you're
have
so weak.
we have 14 days now.
No, you have 4 days now.
4 days.
I really like your optimism, though, Sarah. We need more of that.
I was trying to work some diplomacy on Jason, didn't work.
Right.
So after the next one, we get 28 more days.
4 days.
We got all the time in the world.
Not how that works.
I don't know what kind of shielding item he's got, but definitely immune to enchantment magic. Jedi mind tricks don't work.
Yep. All right. So are you just gonna teleport straight away to the last nexus there?
I believe so. I don't think we have any reason not to. So.
I mean, now that we know, let's go kill that Zorn. He had a fancy belt on, and we should probably go.
He did have a belt of wisdom +6.
You want that? Let's go kill him.
Let's go back and kill him.
Oh,
Yeah.
my. That's nice. Oh, no, 79.
Uh-oh.
That's not what we want.
Let's take a look at the spell. I believe it's 76 is the cutoff for seen viewed once.
Poop.
Good thing we have a couple
All
extra
right.
days, right?
I've doomed us.
So 79 puts you on off target. Off target, you appear safely a random distance away from the destination in a random direction. Distance off is d% of the distance that was to be traveled. Okay. So the distance traveled from this nexus to that nexus. Let me get so it's not snapping here. No snapping. And we'll go straight from the center to the center. About 50 miles, we'll say. So it is a 100. So let me roll a d100, and that'll be the percentage off. D100. So 31% of 50 miles.
Calculators.
So 50.
Guys, we're nerds.
Yeah.
You know we're nerds. This is nerdy. How many miles off in a random direction? Now roll it at 360 for each degree.
So that's about 15 miles off target in a random direction. So let's roll a d8, and we'll just use the splash rules.
The cardinal direction instead of maybe. I said you could do 360.
What do you mean 360? Like a roll a d360?
Yeah, roll a d360 and then straight back.
It will let me do
Man,
that.
this is why we have so many people that listen to our
63.
podcast.
This is the only reason.
They're the worst kind of nerds.
So
15 miles, Jace?
Yeah, 15 miles. I think 60 degrees would basically put you on the peak of this mountain here.
Are you doing the right one? Or where are you counting 0 at?
I was having 0 straight up. Are we doing x-axis?
I was going to do the x-axis, yeah, but you're fine too.
So, so
this peak,
the
this
peak
mountain.
of the peak of this, the peak of one of these mountains. It doesn't really matter which mountain, but you're on the you teleport, and you find yourselves at the top of a mountain, several thousand feet in the air, and you can see the river down below you where you need to go, and it's clearly you have gone off course.
Kieran,
I think something went wrong.
yes, I don't think we're in the Nexus anymore.
I hate both of you.
I can try again, and maybe we'll have better luck. So I'll try again.
Wait, are you sure?
Yes. I mean, I don't really want to walk there.
I mean, how far would a dimension door take us?
Oh goodness, more math.
Not nearly
not,
enough.
not 15
wait,
miles.
No, wait, come on, gents, think about it. We have 4 days to figure out this math.
Yeah, I'll just roll. I'll just do another teleport.
Oh no.
14.
Oh, good job.
14. That'll do it. So you teleport over to this final nexus that you need to get to. So you come over to this nexus map, and let me unfog of war this one as well. You come across a very large hill that is
Ooh, like this map.
just kind of in the area of a plains here. There's some boulders surrounding the base of this hill, and you can see another dais, just like the two from before. This one not as big as the one in the quarry, is floating a little bit in the air at the very top of this hill. And you can see maybe about 100 feet away is that silver lake that I had mentioned.
Well, this is the last one before things probably get fun. I wonder who we'll have to bargain with here. I don't see anybody to talk with, so maybe this one will be even easier than the others.
Yes, of course. Nothing shall go wrong.
That's the spirit, Jessup. Nothing shall go wrong.
So, just in case, should one of us maybe lightly step forward?
Not it.
Or fly? Okay, well.
I'll go.
Oh, no.
Okay. I'll just read the text for the thing, because it does describe streams of quicksilver flow through the cerulean waters, glittering like diamonds and dappling the grassy hillside with sparkling patterns of light. Again, light themes going on there. But yeah, so that stream is quicksilver. So yeah, don't probably drink that. So Gideon, you were walking up towards the dais there.
Yeah, I like the dais.
Okay. So you start making your way up to the dais.
I'll follow Ish
and-
behind slowly.
Yep. You get to about as far as I've put you there on the map, and then suddenly the ground begins to shake. It's similar to what happened in the quarry, but like 5 times more violent. So much so that you are actually tossed backwards back to where Kieran is, as the entire hill rises up out of the ground, and goodness gracious, that cat's going crazy.
Are these the sounds we hear? The violent sounds.
Yeah. The entire hill rises up out of the ground, revealing this creature.
Oh, no. Oh,
He's
no.
got Stonehenge on his back.
Oh, I like him.
You see a colossal creature who had, just up to this point, been the actual hill itself. And go ahead and, if you would like, roll me a knowledge planes.
I bet he's friendly. I'll aid Jessup.
Is going to use a lore master.
He's gonna consult the book. He's gonna pull out the book. We're like, wait a minute, I might know about this. I've read it somewhere.
Guys, that's a hill. That's not even a creature. It's just a hill.
Aw, you
Thumbs
rolled a nat 1. I do aid with a 23.
Yeah,
I'm gonna
Jason,
try
should I
to
roll knowledge geography on this guy?
Yeah, right. This is geography.
Yeah, that would go really well.
Let's
I aid.
So I have 2 aids? Okay.
Yep.
Okay, so let's see. So I'm rolling so I use a Bard natural 20, And then I have a bonus of 17 plus 4 from 8 and 5 from the Book of Awesomeness, so 46.
46. All right. That is enough to identify this creature and get 3 pieces of information. You identify this as a Zarzoran. It is a titanic earthen creature of humanoid shape with a hunched posture. Its enormous hump on its back bears rings of standing stones that crackle faintly with energy. And in this particular case, in between all of those stones is the dais that you need to get to. These are neutral, colossal outsiders, and you have 3 pieces of information you can ask.
Sure. Go defenses, special abilities, and then I'll think of a third.
Okay. Defenses, it has DR. It is immune to acid. It has elemental traits, and it has spell resistance. As far as special abilities, it has several. I will pick 2 that are kind of relevant here. One of which not as relevant, the other one very relevant. Zarzorans are able to... They have an ability basically called Hill Retreat, where they can turn into a hill more or less. It allows them to take 20 to stealth as a hill. And in addition to that, if they have spent at least 10 years pretending to be a hill, they get covered with vegetation and get an additional plus 10 on their stealth check. So...
Okay, shut up. That's what do they do? Just pretend to be hills?
And if they're in rocky terrain, they get a plus 8 to stealth. So if they have spent 10 years pretending to be a hill in rocky terrain, they have a 49 stealth. So, I'm sorry, plus 10, 59 stealth.
Don't tell me. This one's been pretending to be a hill for 10 years.
It's been way more than 10 years, yeah. So yeah, that one was pretending to be a hill for a long time. So the other special ability, this one's got a bunch of special abilities. I'm not going to give you all of them as a single question, but one of the more notable ones is the Menhir Focus Pool. The standing stones on the back of a Zarzoran gather latent power from different nexuses and ley lines basically in the ground, and they can use this latent power for a variety of effects. Essentially, they get a certain number of points in this pool that they can draw from. And they get quite a number of points here, but they can use them in 3 different ways. As a free action, they can expend 1 point when they strike an opponent with a slam to stun the opponent for 1d6 rounds. Fortitude save to reduce to a single round. As a swift action, they can expend 1 point to calcify a creature that they have swallowed as per Flesh to Stone.
No.
Oh, no!
As a move action, they can spend 2 points from their focus pool to unleash a blast of power that deals 20d6 points of electricity damage to all creature in a 300-foot radius burst other than itself. And creatures that take damage from this are slowed for 1d6 rounds.
Okay, third question. How many points does he have to use?
As part of the ability, I'll tell you, typically their maximum is their hit dice, and if they are encountered, they encounter these, they accrue these slowly. A random Zarzoran would only get 1d10 plus 10, but their hit dice, since it goes up to a maximum of their hit dice, they can have as many as 28.
Oh boy.
So that's 2 questions. If you want your third question to be more special abilities, that's fine as well.
I was going to ask as to be a smart hiney about petrification, but you answered that. Not thrilled. Yeah, I guess just why don't you just give us some more stuff?
Okay. So a couple other special abilities it has, as you might have surmised, Swallow Whole, because of, if it swallows you, it can calcify you. So Swallow Whole is a given, It can trample. It has the ability Joggle, which is, as a full round action, it can rapidly shake its bulk to scatter its foes and churn the ground. All creatures in its space or adjacent to it that are at least 3 size categories smaller, which all of you definitely are, take bludgeoning damage. A reflex save can negate. Creatures that take damage are pushed to the nearest unoccupied square and fall prone. The entire space is considered difficult terrain thereafter. So that's a full round action ability it has. It has Stony Stomach, so its interior is difficult to escape once swallowed. The stomach basically gains more AC and double the normal hit points when you try to cut your way out. And so those are kind of a bunch of its other abilities there. Got a bunch of feats as well.
So if I got swallowed as Oran, and then I turned into the earth elemental, could I earth glide out of its stomach?
Not in the direction you probably want to go.
I go out through the mouth, through the mouth.
All I can think of is the Ace Ventura scene.
Right.
Oh, boy. So,
oh gosh, that's not Oran. That's awesome. You got to do that.
Yep.
Also, this dude is massively large. I was measuring the rocks, which are big. This guy's big.
yeah, so the description is a Zarzoran is an immense humanoid-shaped elemental. It at the very bottom it gives dimensions. It is 75 feet tall and it weighs more than 10,000 tons.
No, you mean 75 feet long.
Nope.
Yeah, we established that. He's
Not
worm
this case.
shaped.
Is this the biggest creature we've saw on this day?
You fought one colossal creature before, and it was the giant centipede, I believe.
What are those things we fought in nearish where the simulacrum was? There were like two. Were those the centipedes?
Those are the centipedes that you fought
Oh,
in
okay.
the
What about that big spider?
Morlock caverns. What spider?
That big spider that was in the cave.
The
hole?
trap spider?
Oh,
yeah, the one where Niari had died.
Yeah, the ogre spider was big, but it wasn't colossal.
It was not a 5x5 token. Yeah, no way.
I have 2 plans of attack on this, guys. Not literally attack, but first, diplomacy. Second, how many of us have played Shadow of the Colossus?
roll.
Okay, so listen, you guys fight this and I'll UMD the thing. It'll only take like a minute.
There's a part of me that does want to roll like a creature like this for a lower level with like checks and stuff. They would die immediately, but it's a fun concept.
Yeah, so as you guys see this creature and begin getting an understanding of what it can do, you can see that the standing stones on its back begin to crackle with energy as you can tell, is about to unleash a ability. And I need everybody to roll initiative.
No, we're supposed to talk. We're supposed to talk first. Say something, Jessup.
Oh, hello there. That is all.
I'm going to expend my heightened awareness to gain a bonus to this. I don't know what the bonus is.
Jessup wishes he did, but will not.
Plus
I have an aura around this thing, and I can't remember why I gave it an aura.
an aura of calm emotions.
It doesn't have an aura. It must have something that has a range.
Is it its
Oh,
reach?
it's reach. It's a heckin' reach.
Nice.
A heckin'. It's a real heckin' reach.
All right, so plus 4, 14. That was worth using the plus 4. Good job, Sarah. Natural 2.
22 for yours truly.
If I do this, can you guys see the aura?
Oh, dear God, yes.
Yeah, that's its natural reach.
I'm assuming you guys are going to walk through quite a few threatened squares.
Did you like that, Jace?
Yeah, I saw you doing that. All right, so initiative here. We've got Oran with a 21. Not bad. Jessup with an 18. I don't know what happened there. Kieran with a 10. Is that with the...
Is that with
No, it's
awareness?
14. It's a
Okay.
14.
And then Gideon with a 22. What kind of inverse initiative rolls was this? All right. Top of the round, we have Gideon.
This is when you know that combats are going to go bad. This is
I
when
don't think
Gideon's
I've ever seen that before.
I know, there's so many things I want to do. My most favorite one would be to cast haste on everyone just because Jessup would be so like, what? But I won't. We'll do...
I would just do something else.
You have haste?
I have Blessing of Fervor.
Oh. Like, you just don't know how to stay in your lane, do you?
No, I'm a very gush character. I can do whatever I want. We're going to go ahead. Am I within haste range? Jace, did you just check that for me?
Brandon just did.
Yeah, okay. We'll do... You said that this dude is going to is casting something or an attack in some way?
The energy around it's crackling with electricity, which Jessup at least would know might indicate an attack of electricity damage in a 300-foot radius.
300-foot radius.
Yeah, so just so you know, a 300-foot radius will, in fact, be the entire map and much beyond it, actually.
Is it storm bolts? Is that what it's gonna do?
I mean, it's functionally, it's not a spell-like ability or a spell, but it is functionally the same thing as what you'd expect of storm bolts.
Can we even fight this thing? Like, can it take damage from weapons?
It's got a stat block.
So does Cthulhu.
Yeah, you can kill Cthulhu. I will give you its CR if you want.
Yeah.
Zarzorans are CR 19.
Do we need to do this Nexus? Can we just go fight Azersi?
Right. So that's within the realm of it's a hard encounter, but it's in the realm of possibility.
You've got 4 days. You could just stick this one
That's what I
out.
was gonna say. Kieran's like, isn't 4 days enough? I feel like 4 days is enough.
We'll
So
cast
what do you...
shared-
Okay, you're
5
gonna...
foot stepping out, casting Shared Wrath, and we'll call forth an invocation of justice.
Okay.
Sacred bonus on attack rolls.
All right. So that is a standard and a move.
Yep. 5 foot step.
All
I'm
right.
thinking about swift action, divine might, because I don't think there's any reason not to right now.
Does that work on neutral creatures?
Probably not.
Because Jessup would have identified it as a neutral creature. So,
Oh, he did? Oh, then maybe we can still try talking to him. If the target, opposed to alignment on either the law, chaos, or the good evil axis. But I am not an extreme on the chaos, so nope, it won't work. So I don't do it, or it doesn't work, or whatever. So
okay.
that's my turn.
That is Gideon's turn. Brings us to Oran. We're just kind of going in inverse turn order here.
Oran will shout in Terran. Has this thing noticed us or no? Like, is it aware of our presence, or is it like back to us?
it reacted as soon as Gideon stepped on it, basically.
Oh.
Wait, I stepped on him? He's all the way over there.
Well, I moved you up to approach the hill because you were moving up to the dais. The dais is on his back, so you effectively got onto him, and then he threw you off because he was getting up.
Oh, I see. Do I need to take fall damage? I have feather fall. Just kidding.
Oran will shout in Terran, assuming that it speaks Terran. I don't know that we know that or not, but he'll guess. Oh, whoa there, big fella. You didn't mean no harm. And see if it reacts to that.
Big fella.
All right. You can see that it turns to look at you as if it heard you, but it does not look like it is ceasing or responding.
Distraction! Just kidding. That was just gonna be my turn. I'm not gonna be aggressive till it's aggressive.
Okay. That brings us to Jessup.
All right. So Jessup can do haste, right?
Yeah.
Sweet. He'll do his thing that he does. Wait. Actually, Jessup moves back far enough so when he casts haste, Oran doesn't get it.
I was gonna say, is he gonna move back? Oran doesn't get it.
Worth it.
What a monster.
Worth it for the jokes.
And then he also does not consider him an ally for Inspire Courage.
Yes.
Might as well.
Yeah.
So start up Inspire Courage and give haste to all of the current party members reluctantly. And then Jessup will notice the lightning. No, he's not going to get by, but he will at least move. Jessup will shout out, don't forget he can trample. Don't stand in a cluster.
As we stand in a cluster.
All right. That is Jessup. Brings us to Kieran.
Okay, so we know about its electricity thingamajig?
Yep.
All right. I'm going to quicken cast a mirror image on myself.
Okay.
And I'm going to roll 1d4 plus 4, I think it is. So 8
Nice.
images, max images. Needed that, unless it has true seeing, which it probably does, because why wouldn't it?
So I start asking that along with petrification.
Yeah, right.
Okay.
And then I'm going to cast a resist energy electricity on myself.
Okay. Yep.
And then I'm going to fly to be over this direction to get away from the group because it can trample. And that will be my turn.
All right. Brings us to the Zarzoran, who has an initiative of 2. So, yeah. He is going to... So, one thing that's really unfortunate is they didn't give him Vital Strike. which would have been ridiculous. That would have been so much fun.
I mean, that's probably why they didn't give him Vital Strike.
I think that you and I are on a different wavelengths for this. When you started that sentence, I did not think you were going to end with, yeah, shame he's not going to instantly kill one of you. Like, yeah.
You're not saying that just to come off and be like, ooh, he's got a greater Vital Strike.
No, it's even better though.
Jace would do that.
So, first up, this creature is going to spend his move action to do his 2 points of Menhir focus, and he is going to unleash a blast of power that is going to deal electricity damage to everybody within a 300-foot radius. I need everybody to give me reflex saves.
Oh, goody. 23, which my feeling is that's a fail.
30 for Jessup.
All right. A 30, a 23,
Hey, yeah!
14
Agile,
for Oran.
agile as always.
Nice.
This is feeling pretty important to me. I'm going to go ahead and expend my Wayfinder of Hidden Strength to roll twice and take the better result.
That works on reflex saves too?
Reaction before attempting any d20 roll.
Oh, any roll. Okay.
I mean, I'm going to assume.
Yeah. Go ahead and roll it twice.
Oh my gosh.
Ah,
17.
Oh my
still
gosh.
fail.
All
That's
right.
crazy, though.
All 4 of you fail.
What?
Wow.
A 30 fails?
30
A
fails?
30 fails.
Oh no.
Good thing I expended that once per day reroll. Really, really happy about that.
Yep.
Seeing as how it was impossible either way.
All of you take 71 points of electricity damage.
Oh my.
Well, at least mine's reduced by 30.
Well, that was more than half my HP.
And that's a free action.
That was a move action.
Wow, I could have, if I had been smarter, I could have cast protection from energy, electricity, but I didn't have the big brain.
He's then going to 5-foot step and take 1 attack on Oran. So this is why I was saying that Vital Strike and whatnot would have been ridiculous. So I'll roll the attack to see if it hits first. That is a 51 to hit.
Oh no! I mean, I no, that misses, of course.
So he is going to reach out and bite down at you. You can see his massive maw. He kind of like plants his 2 feet into the 2 feet, his 2 hands into the ground and just lunges forward a little bit to bite you. And you will take 49 points of damage. So this is what I'm saying. If he had Vital Strike and Greater Vital Strike, it would be like 12 and then 18 d6 plus stuff.
Does
It would
he
have been
swallow
crazy.
me?
He will attempt to use his grab ability, with that attack. So he will roll a CMB against your CMD. So his CMB check, yikes. He rolled a 4 on the die, so that is a 60.
What is this thing?
So
As Oran gets
are-
swallowed, he screams, "I'm going out the back!"
We're a serious podcast! Serious gamers!
So, luckily, he does not have constrict, so you don't take any extra damage for being grabbed there. I believe swallow whole. He has to start with you there, so I don't think you immediately get swallowed. So I think you're just grappled at the moment. Yeah, you have to start his turn with you grappled and then do another check. So you are grappled in his mouth at the moment, but you are not swallowed. And that was his move action, 5-foot step, and single attack. That is his turn. And we will do round 2 and beyond next week, because this combat is not ending tonight. So we'll see you next time there, and we'll conclude this fight then.